The light tank pulls ahead. It seems it's the fastest here. Or was. The Panther is now in the lead, and it leaps forward, right into the abyss. The new leader activates their shield, and I hope their insurance covers that. Next, are you new here? Welcome to Neon Dash. This is a very simple, friendly racing contest. You'll easily reach the finish line and will never be flipped over, rammed, destroyed, annihilated, or disintegrated. Not once. Don't believe it? Then check for yourself during 2 April weekends. The races will last only 6 days, so set a reminder. Enter the game on weekends and gather a platoon of friends to push and shove in your fight for first place. In the races, you won't spend credits for shells, repairs, or any other nonsense, so play however you like in any vehicle. Race, complete special missions, and get rewards. Persistent racers won't go away empty-handed. But it's not about the result, it's about the process. Each race features up to 30 vehicles. The format is everyone for themselves. Vehicles of any tier are allowed except for standard tier limitations for platoons. All vehicles are much faster than usual, but don't rush to hop into your fastest tank. You need to reach the finish line first, but don't drive like your dinner is getting cold there. There are obstacles around every turn, and instead of the fastest, the coolest and most careful will be the ones to pass them. As long as no one stops them, and you can and want to stop them. Shots don't cause damage, but transfer momentum to the target. In short, they push. Is your opponent navigating a hard obstacle? Force them to go faster. If they fall into the abyss, they will respawn at a checkpoint in 3 seconds. And that's an eternity in a race. If you're getting shot at, enable your shield. It will grant you several seconds of invulnerability. The next ability is Dash. It has so many uses. Ram an opponent, accelerate on a straight stretch, overcome an obstacle. Use it how you like, just don't jump into the abyss. Or do. Who are we to stop you? If the track has beaten you rather than you it, you can go back to the checkpoint by pressing J. This is handy when you don't want to waste even more time. You can't be first all the time, so don't sweat it if you come 5th or 10th. The main thing is just to finish the race. It's up to you whether you take it easy or pull out all the stops for the podium. Play how you like. There'll be 2 launches on April 18th and 25th. Here's the starting line, and the finishing one lies somewhere ahead. Sounds simple until you try it. Fuel up your tank, turn on your interior neon lights, and start your engines. On April 24th, for the first time ever, 2 tanks will roll out of the assembly shop at once. They're 2 very different but equally strong and unique Tier 10s. Reliable, tested in thousands of battles, and loved by many experienced players. Yes, on April 24th, you'll have a rare second chance to get the Lion and the Object 780. The Object is the perfect heavy for aggressive attacking. It has mobility to match its small dimensions. The sturdy front holds off blows, even uppercuts. The key is setting the tank at the right angle. Thick sides protect you from tracking with damage. And the 130mm gun chomps 530 HP off enemies. The Object has all you need to fiercely spearhead attacks. The Lion is totally different. It's a fast tank without serious protection, but with an extremely menacing gun. Its unusual auto-reloader lets you fire 3 shells in a row, causing 420 HP of damage each. Then fight like a cyclic tank with good DPM. And you have a 4th shell left just in case. The Lion is difficult to master and exciting to play, and its damage is simply devastating. A heavy for forceful attacks and a mobile sniper with an unusual auto reloader. Make your choice, or grab both tanks at once. This time, the vehicles come without numbered styles, so there's no rush to be first. You have time to think it over and choose your new favorite Tier 10, but bear in mind that the time is limited. Pick a tank, then allocate spendable resources. Here's where you decide what you want to purchase the tank for. If you still have resources left after buying the first one, you can move straight to the second one. That way, you'll get 2 rare Tier 10s in one day. From April 24th, in the World of Tanks Assembly Shop. This update brings not only double the dots and ones, but also rebalanced vehicles, significantly overhauled maps, an improved assistant in Watt Plus, a brand new commendation system, as well as fresh launches of Onslaught and Frontline, plus new exciting events. Get comfy, all the juicy details are coming right up. Let's start with the map rebalance. Ensk stayed pretty much the same for many years. It remained one of a few small urban maps that not all vehicles could get a good piece of the action on. Speed and gun depression, view range and concealment. All this will now come in just as handy as armor and a big caliber. The Ensk region map is Ensk blown up to 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. The town has changed a little, and the zones around the team's starting positions have gotten a lot bigger. But the greatest changes are to the field. The thin strip of green has turned into a broad playing field with steep inclines, a river, and a small forest. Now you have plenty of both cover and space to maneuver. Ensk region will solve the problem of early spotting and shots across the whole map. It will let commanders of paper on tracks unlock their vehicles' full potential. At the same time, heavy monsters can lock horns in the town just like before. If you start missing good old Ensk, the smaller version will still be available for battles in Tier 1 to 7 vehicles. But Tier 6 and 7 vehicles may end up on Ensk region if there are Tier 8 and above in the battle, since the higher tiers only play big. Airfield was often the object of update requests too, and we've pretty much fully reworked it. A new island has appeared in the water for speedy vehicles to play with. In the center, the old ruins are gone, but a whole fortress has appeared, with a lot of positions for turret and side blocking around it. The remote sniper positions have gotten better for both teams. The mountain pass has lost the balconies but now has caves instead. There, you can block damage and break forward almost without exposing yourself to sniper and artillery fire. You'll find changes in almost every square, like a new way to win a battle. Just be courageous and try out something new. On Paris, you'll see a whole new field. We've added a lot of long-range firing positions, but even more opportunities to get close. The central steps now have an entry point and a lot of cover from fire out of bushes. Previously, it was hard to get anywhere on this flank except back to the garage. Now the center has more vegetation and terrain folds, allowing for more active play. New cover and bushes have also been added to the edge of the map, near the river. Paris's green area now makes for more exciting play. Try it out. On mines, only 2 positions have been reworked, but this small change gives you better game balance and comfort. The lower team will find it harder to fire at the center of the map from the water. but the upper team's heavies will be able to fire at the same position on the water. This update improves 4 tank destroyer branches being the operative word. All 4 tank destroyer families are much better in their standard incarnations. All the unneeded guns have been removed, and starting from Tier 6, all stock radios. Most of the TBs now just have 2 guns, the standard one and a top one, and the former is worth actually playing, not just skipping for free XP. A few outdated vehicles have been improved, and some have been weakened. For instance, the Cheeto SP. The changes to the branches will make your path to the Tier 10s simpler and clearer. And about those Tier 10s, the Object 268 gets better engine power, traverse speed, aiming time, and even gun depression. A little bit of everything. The T110E4 is a little stronger in a few areas. Engine power, reverse speed, aiming time, turret traverse speed, and stabilization when turning it. All this makes the vehicle more comfortable without overpowering it. The Jagdpanzer E100 is unchanged. Its branch has gotten more comfortable, but boosting this Tier 10 would be risky. The Yagi finds it too easy to cause the enemy serious problems. The whole Reef 3 has lost a little reverse speed, view range, and overall dispersion. The vehicle has become a little less versatile, but retains its strength and general playstyle. You can find all the details about the rebalance in the article on the game portal. Don't miss Neon Dash. This new event will last only 6 days, split across 2 weekends in April. Up to 30 competitors take part in each race in an everyone-for-themselves format. Vehicles of any tier can join, and higher doesn't mean better. You can play in platoons to find out who's the slickest among your friends. However, the standard same-tier restriction for platoons still applies. All vehicles are faster, but the braking distance is greater too. Keep this in mind when passing obstacles. Use your gun and the 2 special abilities to get through difficult sections and help the competition fly into the abyss. Neon Dash is a heady mix of souped-up tanks, exciting abilities, and a dynamically changing course. Just the ticket for a fun weekend. Shortly after the update is released, the new season of Onslaught, the last in the annual cycle of the Manticore, will start. This is your last chance to get the unique Stinger tank and other annual rewards. Prove that you are worthy of them. In the mode, you will see 2 new maps, Steps and Safe Haven, with changes specifically for Onslaught. Airfield has been removed for finalization. Live Oaks, Mines, Tundra, and Siegfried Line have been modified. The latter is now far more compact, and a range of changes to the town and field improve the balance between teams on this map. You'll also find updated rental vehicles and slightly tweaked roll skills. Frontline returns on April 28th. This is a great opportunity to roll out in your favorite Tier 8s and enjoy the most massive battles in World of Tanks. The Frontline progression allows you to gradually unlock combat reserves and earn valuable rewards. Battle Pass points, bonds, directives, and even experimental equipment. All of this can be earned in Frontline, along with your favorite credits. Introducing the new commendation system. It allows you to acknowledge a teammate who helped you in battle, made a decisive contribution to victory, or demonstrated exceptional teamwork. During the battle, press Tab to see the players with the most damage dealt, blocked, and assisted. Say thanks to one of them.
This is the world's most advanced processor. In entertainment, its rendering speeds render other processors obsolete. Powers cloud services for billions. Helps change the course of climate change. And uses AI to accelerate disease detection and cures. We make the world's most advanced processors, but only with your vision can we advance the world. AMD. Together, we advance.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to day 2 of the streams of the AMD OLS Season 3. Thanks very much to AMD for sponsoring. Together we advance gaming, and now we are going to advance into match number 1 of the day, Darkside versus W. What are your thoughts, Ducky?
I mean, W is on a good start this season, which I think in the last 2 seasons they didn't really have, so 2 wins. Plenty of points to go with those wins as well, right? So they're very, very happy to be at the position. But Darkside has also done this, but Kihan, different kind of opponent though.
Yeah, Darkside, I mean, if you ask them, they probably want to stop the count, right? But they did play against Yogurt and Ping, if memory serves correctly. And as we can see, both of those teams not with the best kind of start here. Also kind of new dogs towards the OLS. So arguably Darkside with weaker opponents, so for them, obviously with W top of the board now, it's not going to get easier. That being said, I think it is very rare that we have such a matchup. First place against second here, indeed, on the 22nd of April. As you can see, still quite a few streams to go.
Yeah, we're going to be locked and loaded here for a while, Kihan, and with Darkside, it's not unfamiliar to see them up high and then drop down low throughout the season. So we'll see if they can keep this form. Your token earnings of today, 5 tokens available on all of these streams. And then, of course, we have the double whammy on the weekends, the very last ones where you can get 5 and 5. So that's a lot of tokens there. Do not add down in your calendar. Keep those open because you can spend those, Kihan, in the token store where you got a bunch of goodies available to you, such as premium tanks, 2D styles, 3D styles, consumables, reserves, days of premium, or even a piece of equipment.
Yeah, I think there should be something in there for just about everyone. I think any kind of account could need anything. I'm most likely, because I have all the premiums and 3D styles and 2D styles already, I'm probably going to go with the consumables myself, because having credits is always better than needing them.
Kihan acting poor around here. But anyways, what's not poor right now is the prize pool, 45,000 euros. And then a little bit more than that with the split below it as well. And not forgetting, of course, that the first place in the OLS Kihan will be taking home those glorious CPUs from AMD.
Absolutely. The winner of this Onslaught Legends series is going to take home the, the prize that we're going to show soon. But first of all, we have the OLF. The qualifiers have begun as well. That is the North American event that's ongoing there, the prize well. And we are, of course, going to show the finals live here on the stream as well. And yeah, we were alluding to it already. OLS winners, each one of the players is going to take home an AMD Ryzen 7 9800X 3D. I've been told that chip is basically the best one currently for gaming.
Yeah, that chip's very, very good, and there's an error there on the information panel. There's actually 8, as one of those will be going to me. Yeah, I just forgot to update the graphic, of course. But it happens at his old age. Sometimes he forgets a thing or two. Man's pushing 40, we forgive him for that.
Not quite yet. Not quite yet, luckily. And the thing is, at some point in time, you're also going to have the 3 at the front.
Yeah, but then
of
you're
your
closer
age
to
number,
5,
and then...
you know, so...
well. Anyway, though, I think it is just about time to talk about the upcoming match. Like, right now, we have the first against the second in the leaderboard, albeit after 2 playdays. That doesn't really mean that much. We have 4 matches prepared for you today. Obviously, with Darkside versus W going to be starting, then Yogurt against Lotus.
Fight for
Especially with Lotus, I mean, they started off not that well, but, like, if you ask them, probably they see themselves somewhere up higher in the leaderboard, but they yet have to prove it.
Yeah, they definitely will need to show more than what they did on the first playday. Disappointing results from them. But first, can we see if Darkside can perform against W, a team that is on a hot streak. I mean, not converting the 15v15 tournament, but if you ask them, I think they'll always pick OLS over 15v15. Right? I think that's only natural. But coming out of Season 3, winning it. Now moving into out of Season 2, winning it. Now moving into Season 3, winning their first 2 matches as well, of which one, Kihan, at least was a very nice matchup against Mafia, which is not a team to underestimate. Definitely a top contender there. Well, Darkside does have 2 wins as well, but again, that was against teams that you expect to be towards the lower end of the bracket. And apparently we have a birthday boy with a beautifully placed hat defying the laws of physics right here.
Absolutely. Happy birthday over towards iOS, but it'll be up to himself to, crown it all with a few points for his team. So the birthday presents, he has to play for those himself today.
Community prediction, however, 95% for W. It's a bit lopsided. It's more than I think is fair here. I mean, Darkside is still an established team in this league. They have shown that they deserve to be here not once but twice, surviving relegations. And Kian, let's be real, they didn't end that far away from W in both those seasons.
Yeah, and now we do have the standout player that has returned home. Got you, baby, the addition to W for this season once again. And obviously there aren't that many games that have been played yet, so I would expect the KD to go down a bit. But yeah, right now 4.0, that is impressive.
Map pool. Ghost Town being removed by Darkside. Stutz Yankee by W. It's always nice to keep track of that and see what teams really don't like playing for these shorter best-ofs or just don't like playing in general. It gives us Westfield as very first map. Quick and aggressive map. We saw W do the cook with the double S3 last playday. I don't think we'll be seeing that here. And then moving into Ensk as the second one, Key.
Yeah, indeed. So I think 2 fairly quick maps are going to be played, and both of them do end up being kind of brawly. Westfield, obviously, you always have the possibility of the game like dragging out a bit. I think also during the first stream day we saw, for example, W not afraid to go into that kind of mid and also late game on Westfield. And then obviously Ensk is a map where even the favorites can get surprised. We saw that during the day 1 as well. But I think in the end, Ensk is one of those comfort zone maps for the top dogs on the block, because there it's just about quick reactions and then raw aiming skill. So I think this is why W probably selected it. They think they are ahead there, and as of right now, they should be favored in this regard, but obviously we are going to start off on Westfield, and the predictions for this match pretty one-sided, just like the community predictions as well. Phil, you and myself are going with the 3-1, and Moff absolutely ruthless 3-0.
Well, not really a surprise there. Kihan Moff needs to somehow recuperate his devastating, literally devastating day 1 in the prediction game, right? So, like, if we're looking at the total points, 14 for Phil, 13 for you, 10 for me, and 9 for Moff. You know, that is not, that's not what he wants to see, right?
All right, now going into this one, it seems like W once again went to the kitchen and cooked something up. Never mind, no double EBR this time. It's still going to be double light though. RHM, EBR, STRV, 1 Foshb, double IS7, and a BZ.
In return, Darkside a bit more normal. Double BZ, double Mivi, an Ures, a Bliskavice, and an RHM.
Yeah, the Bliska, we haven't really seen it too much, but still here and there it is getting picked, and obviously, I mean, the DPM that this thing has at close range is absolutely unrivaled. Now, plane-wise, we do see Darkside spawning out 3 tanks, only 2 for W. This also means that there will be no replane available for both Trash Panda and Clurf, as iOS goes very aggressive with that EBR, the birthday boy with the first damage of the game.
First damage coming in. Frugal there taking 2 shots. He's back in the lineup, of course, after he wasn't feeling that good before. But now Trash Panda getting chased down by the birthday boy, giving 300 but taking 500, and the EBR there, it does win 1v1s against RHMs when it can play the distance and not get DPM down, and that's what's happening right now. Trash Panda forced away, And so far, looking rather decent for W. It's kind of a similar strategy as they did in the first play there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They're taking the map control here. Jackpot getting spotted out probably by the plane of Trash Panda. That obviously does get recharged now, but Dries and Shocker pushing in. They want to get Frugo out of this position here. Frugo giving one shot of damage, but is hull down against the other tanks of Darkside. And we can see Dries taking a truck ton of damage from the Fosh B of Itox.
Yeah, but this push forward, Kihan, instead of just killing him where they were, they pushed into everything and everybody, and they trade 1-for-1. You can understand why, but doesn't make sense, Kihan, to do that. They allowed the Fosh B to open up on them and get the damage as well, but Shockerix will continue on towards this STRV. He's going to ram him as well, try to get him out of the game. Mental's now backing away as well on that low HP IS-7. And Darkside here in round number 1, they see a similar strategy, Kihan, and they've got a pretty decent execute here. A few flaws left behind, but on the grand scheme of things, they pick up 3, they lose only 1.
They pick up 3, they lose only 1, and the thing is W has double light tanks still available, and that one is very good for late game scenarios, but not when everyone else around them just gets picked up. Vladislav with another good shot in towards the backside of Baby's IS-7 is going to put him on a one-shot as well, and here we see the problem of this double LT. They simply do not have the firepower against the likes of an Udas that has very good DPM as well, and so Darkside are looking very good here in this round number 1. It is not all done yet, but very close to it.
I mean, they have 5 tanks left standing versus just 3 from W, and it's going to be 2 as Baby falls in the middle of the map, and it's just Itox and Ios left, and they're going to get cut off either by this Bliskavitsa or the BZ if you're Itox, and then the cap will start. And yeah, Kihan, Darkside showing us that they are not here just to get rolled over. They are going to put up a fight. They read it, and luckily enough for them, Kihan, they have the light as well to counter the STRV kinda, and they pick it up as well. First round towards Darkside, and Moff steers, Kihan, I can hear them from the other room.
Absolutely.
Sounds a lot like running water.
I mean, Darkside with the first small kind of an upset coming in here, and indeed are going to get the first round on the board. That is kind of unexpected, but then again, I think W recycling a little bit with the strategies from what we saw 2 days ago, and I think yeah, Darkside just recognized exactly what was happening, the perfect counter on towards the STRB, then enabled to push in towards the BZ, were able to pick up Frugo, and from there on out it was just kind of a train that never stopped rolling over the likes of Itox and Jakifa.
Yeah, and the SRV here still does 3k damage, but then you see the bigger issues, right? As double IS-7, well, you can understand why they were picked. Strong turrets, right? So they can sit in position. They don't, you know, it's like that ability, it's not one of the stronger ones. It's not a game-carrying ability, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, no. I mean, one of the drawbacks of the IS-7 obviously is the kind of lowish DPM, and the ability only mitigates so much of it. And we could really see that coming in. There were a lot of guns of Darkside immediately up and available in the shootout to focus on towards the tanks of W. And then, like, on the returning end of things, if you have double IS-7, they don't have the greatest DPM. The BZ that got pushed, Frugo got 2 shots before he died. And as soon as that kind of happens, the Fosh B is out of steam. What is actually left on the team of W to deal the damage? Like, the double light isn't gonna do it. The STRV is out of the fight.
So they don't have any, like, well, on Darkside side you have like this Bliska, you have Udas even, you have the Mivis, all tanks that really do excel in the DPM department, you know? So you have a lot of game carrying tanks there. So for W, they need this initial strat to really work out for it to carry them across the finish line, because otherwise, if it's just like this kind of game and with speed, and where Darkside doesn't just mindless the YOLO, it's really tough for them.
Yeah, no, I think Darkside did a good job of recognizing where the potential weaknesses of the game for W were. They also knew that there must be a second light together with the EBR, so they knew they were up in fighting tanks. So yeah, I think a fast and decisive push was exactly the correct choice for them. We just saw the captain's rating there coming in. Obviously, W, coming off the win of last season, is going to be favored in this matchup, but as we just saw in individual rounds, that doesn't mean anything.
No, for sure. Now, W needs to be careful, Kihan. This is a low best of, right? Which means that you always have to, like, losing the first round already, you got to be on your toes, to be honest, in my opinion. Because if you lose the second, you're looking at match point and it's never great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing as well is that we are currently on Darkside's map pick, so theoretically W can still respond on Ensk. But first of all, we are going to have the second round here on Westfield, and Darkside completely switching it up. It seems like no light tanks at all. 1 BZ, double E5. Haven't seen those in quite a while, so going with the E5 over the MVY. Kind of curious choice. 1 T57, 1 Udes, a Bluska, and the Fushby.
Yes, indeed, very curious, Kihan, because W, on the other hand, triple BZ, AX, and triple Bluska. I would argue that W's lineup is a bit better for brawling because, you know, those DPM tanks, E5s, they take a while to get those damage out. And outside of that, there's nobody really that is going to do too much outside of that Bluska, you know, and the Udes.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, W's lineup completely looks like they're dropping the gloves here. They're going in a raw. And I think Darkside's lineup actually playing kind of into that, because that triple BZ75 is going to be able to, like, tank for the Bluskas, and the Bluskas are really just going to be able to DPM. The T57 only can do so much with its first clip, as we do now see the individual peaks coming in. Itox taking the brunt of the damage, but now the Bluskas should start rolling in. Damage reduction as well, but Klurf actually going down towards a 2-shot here already.
Now we see what they can do, though. While this T57 is on reload, while Copiat is on reload, if they were counting the shells, they will realize now as well there's an opportunity to do something, because this is where W has to shine. This is where they have to thrive. They have those 7 single shooting guns, and they have to use them right now as well. And I think they realize that this is their moment, and they pick off Hellmine in the E5 instantly. In return, you can see Darkside trying to retaliate, with Vladislav and Dries picking up Itox in the BZ, but that was a very, very costly affair for Vladislav. Klurf, who was low HP, does fall, Kihan, but you can start to see those single shooting guns start to work for W. Not in the gun department, but those quick 2 kills that they get here, Kopiat and Dries, and Vladislav as well, will put Darkside normally in the grave on battle number 2.
Yeah, you can also see in the HP department, 3,000 to 4,000 up now continuously for W, and with 3 guns make that 4 of an advantage. Surely they're not going to drop this round number 2. Both teams really switching it up when it came to tactics, but W with the more aggressive approach taking home the second round.
Yeah, I mean, you have this Fush B, you have the T57, you have those 2, like, 2 tanks that are reloading. I mean, yeah, T57 has good DPM, but it's still like 20 seconds of downtime. W is not a dumb team. They also realize that this downtime is there. They have to utilize that downtime. And then you see the E5 not being such a good tank for this ammo, where it, like, doesn't really shine. Miffies are really, really annoying to shoot at the end of the day. Like, they're really annoying to shoot at. E5 can not quite as much, and they don't do nearly enough damage either, if we look at it from the damage dealing department, where even the BZs do very well here for W, but Itox being the lower end, but then the Bliskas and the AX coming out, you know, like 4K, 4K, 4K from the 3 of them. While here you see the DPM tanks, right, who we're talking about, the double E5, the Bliska, and the Ures, not a single one of them coming even close to that performance, right?
Yeah, and I think the problem became apparent here that the Foch B together with the T57 wasn't able to burst as much as they wanted to into single targets. Like, they were supposed to pick up 1, maybe even 2 in the initial, like, engagement, and then the E5 sort of hold the front until both the autoloaders are reloaded again. But you could see there were tanks on the W lineup going dangerously low in HP, but crucially they stayed alive. And then if you want to overpeak for those low HPs, you have to start sacrificing guns of your own, and this is just exactly where W was able to clap back. So after Westfield, we are at a 1-1, and we are now going to take the trip to Ensk.
Deserved 1-1, I guess. But yeah, those that T57 Forge B combo, it has to kill a tanky hand, I think, right? If it doesn't kill a tank or really drops him low enough that somebody can peek him and kill him when W re-engages, it's not worth it. And spoiler, they weren't able to do that.
Yeah, now Ensk is obviously a completely different kind of ballpark. I would expect a lot bigger alpha when it comes to the guns of the tanks involved here, although after last season, the kind of Juggernaut TD meta fell off a bit, and we saw a lot of super heavies getting picked, and then the response kind of came in with a lot of Foch Bs, T57s, and on the first playday on the stream, we already saw that, you know, you can try to build traps with T57 all you want, but if you're too late with kind of snapping the trap shut, then you're gonna be trapping yourself.
Sure. What kind of style are we going to see though here? Like how many 57s, how many TDs? It's a good question. I think Ensk has actually become one of those maps where multiple lineups are viable. A very heavy lineup, but Mouses, even hundreds, is possible to counteract, for example, the T57s that people like to pick, but also those tank destroyers still work.
Yeah, they can still work, and obviously something like an E3 frontally over more than 100 meters of distance can be absolutely brutal and annoying to penetrate. That being said, ooh, Darkside coming in with curious picks, and I was wondering when we were really going to see the tank. Here it is, double 268, the freshly buffed tank coming in together with double Foch B, a Centurion, a T57, and an E100.
W in return, though, coming in with a lineup of their own, Kihad. E100, 1-1B, 4 Foch Bs, and a 268v4. The only thing you can say here, Doki, is that the Inspire doesn't really complement this lineup that well.
Yeah, no. The Inspire, I mean, what's it really going to do? It's going to shorten the reload of the Foch Bs, but that isn't really going to help. And it's going to make the tanks a little more accurate while they are firing. But with the Onslaught modifiers, I fail to really see how exactly that would be working together, as both teams are opting for going on towards the field. Trash Panda is the first one that's going to be on the artillery strike, and Clerf immediately taking it to the face of his Foch B, as Dries as well with that T57. All of Darkside, they look to receive, and W, they seem to be a bit confused as to what exactly to do, where exactly to go. Ios taking 1400, those 268s making their presence known.
The strike doesn't really do much, to be honest. 400 to Frugo. Now they're starting to clip out. Kano and the 268v4 getting focused out and return down towards 1000. Does escape past Eos, and Eos now starting to feel the hurt from this T57. Dries has one more in the chamber, and it's going to be Kano to kill him. And do keep in mind the 268 ability. It works in a way. He gets another kill. That's 2 shots, and probably is going to do one more on top of that. That's 3 shots. The 268 ability, it's like a machine gun when it starts killing. So Kano there getting a nice little triple tap, getting another kill, and another shot coming out from Kano. That's about 5 or 6 shots in 30 seconds from a 268v4. And if Darkside win it, it could be all because of that, Kihan.
Indeed, the 268 ability absolutely crucial in moments like these, as Mentos now the next guy to get focused out by the team of Darkside. They are still a bit behind in HP, but Hellmind now here with the ability active, another shot coming in, and you can see that effective DPM of the 268 completely spiraling out of control. All of a sudden, Darkside leading in the HP department. Jackifier here with the Foch B trying to heal back, but doesn't get the kill, crucially leaving only Baby alive.
Very good job to Darkside. Very, very good job, especially to Kano there. The ults shined in his favor a little bit, but he really made a quick highlight there of what the 268 can do and will do if it gets the situation. We were wondering, when is it going to be used with the new and improved ability that it has. So the reason why this is picked, because people will always ask this, why is this picked? There's 2 factors to this. One, the 268 itself is buffed. It's quite relatively much faster now compared to what it used to be. And second of all, the ability got buffed as well. So those 2 things coming in together make for a pretty potent combination for specific situations. And this specific situation was pretty good for Kano.
Absolutely. The 268, kind of a mobile glass cannon nowadays, but here there wasn't a lot of glass, but certainly a lot of cannon. You can see Kano 999, perfect shooting, 5.7k. And the thing is, normally with tanks with high alpha, you don't want to go for those kills, but with the 268,
you want to get those kills.
All of a sudden turns on its head completely. Like, if you're a teammate there and you see your 268 is reloaded, you probably even want to give the kill to them just so they can completely escalate their DPM.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of a snowball at that point. Once in this scenario, it works. Like, if it doesn't get focused out, and there was a moment there where Kano was driving down the rails, and you're like, it's not looking good. But then he got past. Ios And I think Ios was even the first kill in that regard. The moment he got away from all of the guns and started putting out that DPM, the 268 starts becoming real dangerous, because it's not just when it makes kills, of course, it's also when it just shoots in general. It gets a DPM buff to it as well. So if it can get the ability rolling in a battle, it becomes real scary all of a sudden.
And the thing is, like, it's not limited to AP and HE. Like, if you're facing something like RHMs or Batchats, the 268 HE is
there's nothing better
nasty
to meet than an RHM in a 268. You 3-shot him, you reload for 4 seconds after every shot. It's not very fun if you're the RHM.
It is certainly a lot of fun when you're the 268. I think I saw a clip of you in Onslaught doing like 4,000 damage in 15 seconds, just like that. 4 HE shells, easy peasy.
Yeah. I think this was even on Sand River, where I just like started blasting, penning STB, penning RHMs. It was indeed 15 seconds. I think it was like 2 against an RHM and then 2 against an STB, and it was like, this is funny.
Yummy.
But
right,
this puts us, though, on Dark Side. You know, I'm going to say it, Kian. Dark Side, it was a team last season as well that took points from sometimes teams you wouldn't expect, like Hit and Run. This season, maybe it'll be the W.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, they've converted with the points against teams in the lower echelon of the bracket as well. And if they now start basically taking points from not only those teams, but the top dogs as well, that is shaping up to be a really good start into the season for Darkside here. I mean, already securing 1 point, but the possibility now for 2 more, and for W, it must be full-on panic mode now. They cannot afford to drop another round here.
Be great for Darkside to win this, though. Again, we'll put them already, I won't say, I mean, kind of halfway into the second phase, Kian, to be honest. 9 points is a lot, right? It really, yeah, I think it's 9, maybe more. It's a lot of points that Darkside could be having here. They're going to try and do it with a mouse, triple T57, a 1-1B, a Fudge B, and an E4.
And for W, they're trying to stay alive here in this match during phase 1. It's going to be a mouse, double T57, a 430U, Fosh B, a V4, and an E3. Make that double Fosh B and a 430U. Actually, they're still switching around, kind of undecided, back to that double T57 heavy tank. So kind of second-guessing themselves, RW.
Opening wise, we can see Darkside going very heavily towards the city almost entirely, while W is trying to pressure the field. So when we look at this, Trash Panda there takes 1 shot of damage, kind of cannot avoid that. But W will soon know that there's nothing on the field. They are trying to make some sort of a trap though, but I think they realize now that there's tanks in the city.
I mean, we saw this kind of trap coming out from W with like 2, 3, 4 T57s, 4 Bs. This time it's kind of split in between both, but in the meanwhile, Darkside in the city have already started taking the artillery strike. You can see Kano in it. At the same time, they're taking the information tower as well. So now full information is going to be available for Darkside. They see everyone. Obviously, Baby has used the information tower as well. So both teams kind of know what they're playing against, what they're up against, but now it's up to the rotation that once again have to be done blindly.
But W is trying though to cut across with almost everybody. I don't know if this is the right rotation, Kian.
Oh, good shot by Jackify and towards Kano there. Big one into the 1-1B with that E4. The rotation so far not really getting spotted, but that is a lot of firepower on its way. Copiat, Hellmind, and Scout forming kind of a hit squad driving around here, and they are going to be hitting the backs of Mentos and Frugo. Mentos already Amoract is able to repair it though, but that is 3 autoloaders that just plain blast through that T57.
And now W needs to come back across with all of these tanks that they have, and you can see the Darkside tanks trying to get in every nook and cranny that's available to them. Chlorf leading the charge, and the Fosh B has 4 left. It won't be enough to kill Scout, but it will be enough to do a lot of damage. Copiat is now going to be on reload. Hellmine is coming off of reload though. Scout with the dead loader is not going to be reloading, and Eos is pushing in, but Hellmine's reloaded already. Hellmine's clipping out. Can they put him down before he puts Yos in the grave? No. 1 more kill going the way of Darkside. So 2 for 2 for either team, but Baby there in that 430U getting punched through by the tanks from Darkside, and Copiat coming off of reload pretty soon as well in the Fosh B. Kano now pushing in. Darkside smells blood in the water.
Indeed, they do smell blood in the water as Kopiat now fully reloaded, trying to clip out on towards Jakifel, but he has his ability active. Itox in the middle of everyone, but obviously they don't really want to focus out the mouse. Klurf is on the reload as well, trying to go after Kano, gets Emmerich 2, repairs it as well as Vladislav and Dries form up to put that Foch in the grave, and the mouse between everyone still up and fighting. So Itox is trying to put his tank where it matters, but right now doesn't really have the impact he probably would like. Jakifa tracked again, does get blown up as Itox with the return kill. Baby trying to come in, all of a sudden is down towards one shot, and Vladislav still has 2 shots available. One of them gets used, and the second one into the mouse. Itox all of a sudden against 2.
It is looking rather dire here for W. A bounce from Itox as well coming out. Rajpanda will lose against Frugo. He picks up the kill. But the biggest changing moment there, Kihan, is you see that Foch B, Klurf was about to start healing, but then Dries found the shot on the E4 through those streets and was able to put him down. And as a result, now Vladislav needs to connect these shots though together with Dries. They cannot be complacent here. Vladislav needs a little bit of help, and Dries is already looking towards Frugo for some mysterious reason in that E4. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication, because Dries is going to die now to Itox all together.
Yeah, possibility for a comeback coming in here for the team of W, as finally Vladislav is reloaded, and only 1 shot from the mouse is going to mean he is a 2-shot, and he can actually 1-clip Frugo if he doesn't have the ability up. He does make it maybe around the corner. No, Frugo with the HG, absolutely stepping up. The team captain with the 1-shot did intuition over and is going to carry his team to a tiebreaker. What a play.
Crazy. What a misplay by Darkside. What a misplay altogether.
That was thrown pretty far, I have to admit, yeah.
All they needed was Vladislav. No, sorry. Vladislav bounced one, and then there's this abyss of communication, what it looks like. Like, Dries, my man, you need to shoot the mouse. You have to shoot the mouse. Vladislav needs you, and then the game's over every time, you know?
Yep. As we do see the damage numbers here, and actually on either side we have tanks above 6,000 damage. But yeah, Jakifa making all of his shots count here, and Itox, he really was in the thick of it with that mouse. And you can see a crucial 790 bounce damage. Sometimes that's just all it takes, together with some some miscommunication on the enemy team. Io's not really with the best of battles, and I mean, Mentos didn't get to fire his gun even.
No, that was a pretty straightforward kill on Mentos there from Darkside, and then afterwards the ball was rolling and they were fine until.
And man, Vladislav, 1 bounced shot, and that's just all it.
Yeah, okay, but he bounces one, but Dries is there. You know, the bounce should not matter.
Yeah, no. Normally the E4 should just kill the mouse, and then you're in a 2v1, and usually you don't lose those. In competitive when you are in a 2v1 scenario. But that means the content is gonna keep on going, and we are going to a map that we haven't talked about yet too much, because both of us actually thought that it would be kind of done after Ensk. Now all of the predictions in shambles, and we are headed towards Cliff, the tiebreaker, W picking North.
Sure, I mean, I don't know if it really matters, but I think W has the mental edge now, though.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, that was a throw, and the Darkside players know it.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's why. And now we're heading into this tiebreaker. There's not that much time in between the end of that last round. The fact that HE shell penned is also, I'd have to see that in a replay, because yeah, the 57 engine is pennable, but he's already turning. He's already on an angle. He's starting to move behind the corner. I mean, the stars aligned there for Frugo.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, even if it doesn't penetrate, then he still most likely puts the T57 onto
one shot, yeah.
Because he's gonna do like 350 damage, because like the side and back of the T57 is lightly armored. So I think it was worth the gamble if it doesn't matter at this point if he penetrates with an APCR or he just splashes with an HE. He makes the T57 one-shot either way, and you have the possibility for this admittedly very, very cool one-shot on towards the T57. So props to Frugo. And, you know, sometimes all the shots you don't take are also shots that you miss. And he took the shot he didn't miss.
No, it's beautiful. It's crazy. The Fugo carries them across the finish line. They didn't have any right to win that round anymore. I don't know why Mentos was that far forward by himself either. There's a lot of interesting stuff there.
Yeah, I think quite a few things that went wrong for either team, to be honest. But through the thick of it, and also through all the chaos of this round and some miscommunication there at the end on the team of Darkside, W pulled through, and as you said, mental advantage kind of now on W's side. And I mean, the fact of the matter remains, after this match, we are going to have a sole victor that's going to be taking the first place in the standings.
Yeah, for sure. But I would have loved to see Darkside win just because upsets are funny, you know?
Absolutely. I'm completely with you there. It's not up to us, though. It's up to the 14 people that are going to be playing the next round. And yeah, we see Cliff. I think W playing North is going to suggest that they are probably not going to bring a stage 2. That one mostly gets played from the South. But in a round like this, where, you know, one more point for the standings is on the line, do you really want to hit with a cheesy strat, or do you actually just, you know, try to play normal?
It's hard to cheese right now, though. It's on Cliff from South, it's not that easy to cheese. The best you can do is like an FV.
Yeah, or like I think in season 1 or 2 we saw like double Gorilla as well, but I think that kind of fell off too. Doesn't really work that well. I mean, obviously you're kind of pinpoint accurate, but for 2000 damage that you do then, and it looks funny, you have 2 tanks out of the fight completely that also cannot brawl.
You also have to not be spotted in the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
Which is another difficult aspect. I don't know. I don't think Darkside will be going for any gimmicky stuff here either. Yeah, they will just be going for it.
No, that looks kind of normal, albeit very light on the side of Darkside. We do have a 50B, then we have 5 CSs and a Fosh B.
Okay. W in return, though, 4 50Bs, BZ, and double E50M.
Yeah, so once again, W going with this very, very brawly setup. This kind of reminds me of the second round of Westfield that we saw. Once again, dropping the gloves a bit, just going for the straight-up commitment. Whereas Darkside, you can see they kind of want to ring around the rosy with W here and just let the DPM of the CS come into it. Obviously, E50M better in that department, but the thing is, the CS also has that little baby strike, and 5 of those combined are not to be underestimated. Trash Panda and Kopiat immediately driving in towards the 1-2. They do get spotted out by the double 50B here, and they do take a little bit of damage, but now that Vladislav is here, I don't think Baby and Klurf want to keep on peeking.
No, but the cross is coming from the middle, though, and only very little of those tanks were spotted, and I don't think Kano and Trash Panda really know what is going to happen to them ever so shortly. Now I think they realize in those CSs that the 50Bs are coming. They have to go back in towards the middle of the map where there's an E50M waiting for them, but Kopiat is a little bit slow on this, didn't take damage. Trash Panda now following him. Kopiat down towards a one-shot. Mentos should be able to make the pickup there. Kopiat still hiding out. Can Darkside really even do anything here with these CSs? I mean, even for Shockworks, this is going to be a really hard fight to win against the E50M.
Yeah, indeed, the FDM, also with the ability active, is going to have the edge in the DPM department. W a little bit ahead in the HP department now as well, and they have these 2 CSs in the middle of the map kind of cornered. Yes, Dries has Crossfire, but there is only so much that he can do. Good strike on towards Klurf, a shot as well to put that 50B on a one-shot, and now it seems like Darkside have been able to stall W into kind of stationary positions where they cannot really push out, and those CSs continuously peaking and continuously stinging with their strikes should be winning out here. Another strike into Klurf. He goes down to strike 139.
The thing is about 4 CSs that slowly but surely you can kill off that 150B behind the rock. I mean, if Hellman uses a strike on that, but he already used it. Dries is about to get one as well. They really could have killed Klurf off, actually.
Yeah, now we see Itox kind of a little bit desperation in his movement, is going to clip out against the Foch B of Vladislav, who is obviously also a clip tank. Vladislav is going to heal back some of this, and Itox doesn't have the clip potential to take out the Foch B, but Shokrix falls in his CS, the first kill of the game, but Ios is super low in that E50M on 6 HP.
Yeah, he can get striked if they do find it at some point. Dries is getting a lot of success from behind that rock. He has a level 1 strike now. He needs to be careful from that E50M that I think is shooting him still from distance. But Darkseid should just be able to hold right now. As in, not do much, just get some shots. And Dries is really doing a lot of damage though, to be honest with you. I've seen him hit at least like 5 or 6 shots already. The 50B is going to hit a perfect timing here to cover Vladislav as well. In that 50B, he's on the 5-6 line.
Each other.
No, but
I mean, Frugo is now going to push up. He's going to find the Foch B, and as soon as that happens, I think maybe Itox should be committing in as well. Good shot by Frugo here. Puts the Foch on a potential and very, very likely one shot as Dries peeks from the top. Gives one to Frugo as well. Itox coming in now. Wants to get the kill. Does get it, but takes damage in return. Make that 3 shots down towards 100. There is a strike onto Frugo. It does connect another strike into Frugo, but he manages to dodge it for now as Dries still alive on 1 shot himself.
Yeah, and he's getting some shots from the middle of the map. That is EOS there on that 60 HP, trying to do what he can. Klurf avoiding it as well. EOS actually finds it as well, finds the kill. There is an information tower taken though, and now can they strike out EOS? Can they strike out Frugo? They can! Hellmine does it! The mini strike. And the thing is, Kihan, there is 3 more targets from W that are strikeable, even for CS63s.
Yeah, and the thing is, they have 1 group heal, I think, on the BZ75, so theoretically they could heal up a little bit, but for that, obviously, the tanks would need to get close, and currently with that level 1 on the BZ75, that's not really going to do too much, as Baby is now going to get the info tower on the 1 line here. Frugo putting himself into position to potentially deal some damage. Everyone gets spotted out on the side of Darkseid, but still 1800 HP advantage roughly at this point in time for the team in yellow. W, though, they do have the gun advantage, so if push comes to shove, they would be winning right now, but 5.5 minutes is a lot of time for the CS Baby Strikes to make a mark.
And I think Darkseid here realizes that they cannot really risk with Kopiat anymore. On 170 HP, they have to use Trash Panda on the strike to not die, of course. And I still think W cannot be complacent. I really don't think they can be complacent, Kihan. They will slowly lose this game.
I think so too, because the thing is, like, Frugo is tier 1 Baby strikeable, and Itox and Klurf, both of them, are tier 2 CS strikeable. Now Trash Panda here taking the artillery strike. Frugo activating his ability, doesn't really find a lot. The strike does go on towards Hellmine, and Frugo actually gets picked up. Kano with a very, very important kill.
Yeah, Frugo, they're getting spotted out. Mistake. Mental's not pushing across. I think they're starting to realize, Kihan, that this is not looking good anymore for them. Klurf trying to make a blind shot, doesn't connect it. Hellmine will pop it almost instantly, you would assume. And now everything is spotted. Double 50B there on the 1-2 line, but they're healthy. Klurf dead. Out. Another one off. Another one bites the dust.
Yeah, indeed. And all of a sudden, the guns are going to be evened out again.
Darkseid's
and the fact remains that, you know, Itox still on 101 HP. That is tier 2 strike, or if we take a look at Hellmine and Kopiat, 2 of those tier 1 strikes, if they both connect, would do it as well.
I mean, right now, W is already losing. You know, they're no longer winning. Darkseid definitely did more damage here. Especially playing against a quad 50B lineup with a BZ and W50M. I mean, W had higher starting HP also.
Yeah. I mean, 5 CSs, they do have some HP, but not as much as the heavy tanks on the side of W, obviously. As Baby once again takes the information tower, they do have the possibility here of popping the info tower and then using the Arty Strike. Yeah, but yeah, Kopiat is obviously expecting that. Now we do see the info tower does get used. Is the strike going to connect? Jekifer doesn't even use it here. So
yeah, and you know how fast the CS goes?
Yeah, 70.
The only thing here is... Oof, he missed it. Mentos is sneaking up on Hellmine. Unspotted.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, he would need 2 shots for this.
But if 1-2 comes in, if 1-2 comes in as well.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, Baby isn't ready right now. Good shot in towards Hellmine, but that still means...
If Hellmine speaks this and they strike it, the BC's dead.
Yeah. They do have the strike available here for Mentos, but the strike has also been taken here by W, and this is... Oh, the strike actually does miss on towards Mentos, but it hits Hellmine, so all of a sudden the tables have turned here. Mentos is considering it, is thinking about going, but we can already see that Darkside are reshuffling their forces. They're maybe even going to take Trash Panda or Kitsunk Kano on towards the hill. The only one that is currently trying to mitigate that possibility is Jakifa from the donut, as Baby takes a shot in the donut as well. Trash Panda might be going for it here, but he's going to be running in towards autoloaders, but the strike is going to come in. It's going to kill one, it's going to damage the second. All of a sudden Baby on towards a one-shot. Trash Panda is coming in. Jakifa trying to possibly come back, but here Trash Panda with the pickup, and it's 2 tanks remaining on the side of W.
Make that one, as Mentos is the last one standing, and even he loses his fight against Hellmine. A second there of hope for W, shut down by Darkside, who will take it in overtime, but will pick up crucial points for them in phase 1 of the Onslaught Legends series.
Absolutely. It didn't look like it at the start of this last round here, but Darkside managed to turn it around, making it into a slow game where those CS strikes really start coming in clutch. And also shout out to the CS that was like in the crossfire position at the donut. He was absolutely crucial. Not sure who it was, maybe Dries. But yeah, well played to the team of Darkside that with this victory are also going to be putting themselves on top of the standings
it's such
here.
Important points.
Yeah, crazy.
I would
crazy.
say I think the work has halfway been done for them to get to phase 2.
I think they have 7 points total now, so absolutely crazy performance by them. First of all, let's take a very quick look at the post-battle results here. And we can see, yeah, those 50 Bs, some of them were having an impact, but like Clerv, that is not really where you want to be. Same here for Jakifa. Those 50 Bs that are supposed to run in towards the enemy, clip out, and then basically, hopefully get off secondary clips, but then make the targets, soften them up for the E50Ms. There was no kind of engagement at any point in the game that Darkside was actually giving towards those 50 Bs, and this means that over time, those pesky little CS tanks with their strikes are going to win out.
I don't know. I feel like Mentos had to sit there in the middle and just trade it out and kill some CSs, but they didn't opt for that, especially with the 50M crossfire. Figured they would kill more. He ran away, also got locked in the 2-line. I don't know. I feel like W should always have this game in the bag, actually, from the way that both teams opened. But Dries did a lot of damage, though, from that position. Like, really, really, really big amount of damage from the rock. It was very impactful for his team.
Yeah, indeed. But that was already a very, very long best of 5. That means we earned a little breather for our voices. And then after that, we'll be back with the second match of the day. Stay tuned, guys.
I have no idea when the last time was. Because it's not gonna be the Ukrainian team of Cashback, the All-Star Legends Series Season 2 winners. It's going to be W from the pits of hell coming through the lower bracket and cleaning up Cashback.
And here we are, back again. And indeed, I brought a friend to spectate the next match that we are going to see. And whereas the one that we just saw not only was a lot of content, it was also first against second place. Here we are a bit down in the trenches.
You could say that much. I mean, between these two teams, Yogurt and Lodis, most people, including many Lodis themselves, would rank them higher than Yogurt.
Yeah, indeed. I think it is fair to say, even after the performances we saw on Sunday, that Lotus should still be favored, but I think the team here with the logo in white and blue that came in with a lot of aspiration so far have yet to deliver. First of all, the lineup of Yogurt, though, they are by now, I would say, kind of an established team, and they have come to prove something, mostly to themselves. And I mean, against Lotus, a team that has also been struggling, maybe that's their opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. But this team has still a lot of experience and a lot of talent, Kihand, nonetheless.
Exactly. We can see two WCI winners there, Rishek and Chucky, and I mean, Storm didn't perform too bad at WCI either, so theoretically, Lotus, player skill-wise, definitely have what it takes, but so far have failed to really bring that to bear.
Yeah, having potential, Kihand, and making it work are two different things, right? You can build a team around like a lot of superstars, but that doesn't always mean it will work. The community, however, believes in Lotus, which I think is fair. Yogurt,
maybe a bit much.
Yeah, a bit much. Like I would say, like 70-30, you know.
Yeah, indeed. But then again, we'll have to see. So far, Lotus, they were playing, pretty much the top dogs of the season so far. So maybe this Tuesday is going to be kind of a welcome switch up here. And Rishek, to be honest, didn't perform too badly on Sunday. 1.3 KD, average damage of 3.7. That is a lot, considering he wasn't only playing Batshot, which is kind of a damage dealer, but also V4.
Sure, he did fine. But we'll see, like, halfway in the season, we'll really see who's shining for their team, you know? I think that is like the baseline that I would like to operate in. But then map pick and bans. Ensk removed, Westfield removed, gives us Cliff that we just had as a very first map.
Indeed. So we are going to start where we ended on the last match, on Cliff, and then we are going to go to Pilsen, a map that we haven't seen too much in the season yet, but obviously it is and it has been part of the pool, so theoretically both teams should be having a pretty good idea of the meta that admittedly didn't switch too much between those two seasons here. And if we need a decider, if we are going to go to tiebreaker, that would happen on good old Ghost Town, although some of the Lotus players maybe have very, very bad memories when it comes to tiebreakers on Ghost Town.
Sure, I think they still remember that devastating cruising, it probably killed the team as well.
Yeah, probably. There is a legendary GIF of one of the Storm players as well, I think Husek, that really wasn't happy with the result that his team had, and to be honest, rightfully so. If we think back to WCI, Storm had it, and then for some reason, without pressure, they gave it away. But if you're a Lotus fan, you just have to hope that it doesn't come to this tiebreaker, and I think obviously you're hoping for your team to pick it up in regular time, but Yogurt, they are not going to make that easy.
They shouldn't make it easy, right, Kian? Prediction-wise, though, 3-1 across the board for all three of you. I went with a close match since that they both had a disappointing start.
Yeah, then again, I was thinking about what to put here, and I was like considering who both of those teams have played previously. The 3-1 seemed like the more likely option, but to be honest, with our predictions and with the community predictions as well, we see that everyone is fallible. The last match just demonstrating that very well.
Sure. What do we expect for Cliff, Kihan, between these two? Lotus should take the upper hand, technically.
I mean, with Cliff being picked right at the start of the match, this is also where you can kind of experiment a little bit, because you still have that admittedly small safety net of being in best of 5 where you can afford to drop around, but you can try to bring something experimental here in round number 1. If either team wants to experiment, that is, because we spoke about it already. Both of them kind of at the lower end of the table right now. Both of them really need those points.
Yeah, you're already at the point where you need those points to continue on in the series altogether. And Lotus is going to try and do that with an RHM 4 TVPs, an AX, and a BZ.
And for Yogurt, we kind of have a bit more of a standard lineup. 50B, double BZ75, double Batchat, a CS, and an RHM. Albeit, once again, the Inspire medium with a lot of autoloaders. I would like to question that pick.
I don't know. I don't like the TVP, Kihan.
Me neither. I think it's great tank, obviously. And for random onslaught on Cliff, it also works pretty good. At least until you go to like champion or something. But in competitive, I mean, yeah, those TVPs, they're so squishy. And at the end of the day, 1000 damage isn't really that much. Or like 1200, 1300, the clip potential of the tank, it's not that much with the buffed HP.
I just don't like it, but let's see if it works out for them altogether. Can they do something with it? And you can see already the Yogurt lineup engaging around the hill, going to take up. It doesn't take much. Only one shot from the 50B that was shooting from the lower side. So far for Lotus, the start is not that bad, and now Liquor driving up, he's getting swept out by Milo. They're taking one back, but that CS63 had a lot of ideas of what he wanted to do. Now these tanks around the hill are going to be spotted out as well. So in terms of information, Lotus is quite ahead at this moment in time.
Yeah, exactly. The HP basically dead even at this point in time, and obviously Yogurt, they have taken the artillery strike, whereas Lotus so far have only taken the info tower. Now, however, around the hill, Rishek is going to take a strike of his own as well, as he does. And the problem for Yogurt right now is that the 50B is basically out of the game on the lower side. Mindbreaker not trying to make a play, but against this many Batchats, that is problematic. He completely gets caught out.
Yeah, I mean, that works for the TVPs or just the Batchat chilling through the open. And now what can Yogurt do to react to this? Because it's not looking good for them whatsoever. I mean, they're out of position. They don't have the hill. They're getting crossfired. And I don't want to say it too soon, Kihan, but they're going to lose every position, and Lotus is currently very, very far ahead in this battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only up a gun, but also you can see the double TVP of Milo and Baku already chasing after LeVay in that Batchat. That is, if all 8 shells connect, a 1 clip for the double TVP here. As Chucky trying to trade it out with that Centurion, albeit his turret not being the best. But the artillery strike is going to get down, is going to remove Liquor from the game. LeVay gets found by the double TVP, and you can see pop, 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 go the shots, and he goes down.
It's over. It's just over. These TVPs actually ended up working. Doesn't mean that the TVP is great though, but for this exact scenario that they were in, yeah, Yogurt didn't really have an answer for the TVPs, actually.
Man, this is going to ruin random onslaught for the next few days, because everyone is going to think that they are the one and they are going to pick TVP. Oh, no.
Are you going to be the one?
No, I'm not going to be the one. I don't have that delusion. But yeah, 7-0 is going to be the scoreline here after this first round of Cliff. Absolutely dominant performance by Yogurt that do end up coming out with kind of a pocket strat, I think is what you could consider quadruple TVP to be, but it works out.
I wish they kept it in their pocket though. I really don't. I think Yogurt, they just shied away from the fight altogether because they saw those TVPs and it ended up backfiring completely for them.
Yeah, and you can see Mindbreaker tried to make a play, and, well, the play immediately took him to the garage, ended up not even firing Liquor here with only a single shot of damage as well. It went from bad to worse for him on the ramp. No tank, even with 3,000 damage here for the team of Yogurt. It ended up falling apart so quickly. And on the other side, for Lotus, the damage spread actually very good.
Nobody really losing out there. I mean, for Lotus, it was a very chill round. It was all over after this Batchat driving through the open from 9-0 line. Mindbreaker just getting clipped out. Not sure what that was supposed to do, but I think Yogurt were out of ideas at that point.
Yeah, and that is kind of weird because I think Lotus didn't really do anything too special here, apart from having a fairly standard opening, in my opinion. And then, yeah, obviously, Yogurt have the problem that the 50B is basically out of the game. He would probably take a lot of damage for trying to get back in, either through 1-2 or, you know, through the normal way to the middle. He can't really link up anymore. But the tanks of Yogurt weren't really playing to their strengths. If you have those single shooters like the BZs with the meaty alpha, you want to play that alpha game. You want to play peekaboo. But instead, it was just the other tanks of Yogurt getting found everywhere. Like, not even counting the Batchat play, that initial one that sent Mindbreaker to the grave, but after that, everything just fell apart because the TVPs flanked around, and that is actually the situation where then the TVPs end up working out, because you do your clip, the opposing tank dies because you brought enough TVPs for that, then you rinse repeat. You have like, I don't know, 7 or 10 seconds until your clip is reloaded, and then you keep on blasting.
I mean, sure, if you get the ball rolling with the TVP, it's very, very powerful. It's just usually getting that ball rolling. Against the tanks that you're facing on Cliff, it's pretty hard. You know, with 320 Alpha, you're always facing something that's more powerful in that regard. BZs, CSs, 50Bs, E50Ms, really anything, right? But it worked out for Lotus, and that's all that matters. Picking up the first round is good for their confidence as well.
Yeah, so far Lotus didn't really have that fun of a time in the AMD OLS season number 3. Now, however, it might be different, because we can see here captain's rating 5 to 7.1, so both teams rated kind of low-ish, but whereas Yogurt is not expected to make it to stage 2, that is firmly where also the other captains do see Lotus. Talking about them, they're coming in and they're completely switching it up. Quadruple BZ75, double CS63, and the Inspire Medium with 6 single shooters to boot, then I understand it.
Sure, this makes sense for that. Yogurt, on the other hand, RHM, TVP, double BAD, triple BZ. Yeah, all those tanks will benefit massively from the Inspire, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Not only is the DPM going to get increased, which very much helps the BZ75s, also the gun handling for the BZs that is kind of does get that tad better when being inspired. Now the plane is going to hit 5 tanks, and that is a very good plane, as it also means there will be another one available for Quick. Let's see if he's instantly going to use that one, and indeed he does, and chooses to respot the tanks of Lotus that are driving through the middle. They don't know about the double CS yet, but here LeVay comes in, wants to clip on Baku, who drives back, but LeVay instead is only going to end up taking damage, and now Baku should be making it up. No punish available from the Donut, a singular shot by the BZ, that's going to be all she wrote. Still, he should have priority on the hill over the RHM.
Yeah, so Ramdik, they're trying to peek. Taking 2 shots for that, not entirely worth it. Now Alex and Lucan are going to be using this opportunity, or at least Alex is going to be trying to utilize this, as Ramdik takes 2 shots there, and now Alex in a little bit of a clear position, will be fine. Liquor flanking Chucky, who's forced down, but he has Milo to pressure away that bad shot of the breast back behind that corner. So for now, they've actually been able to keep Chucky alive, which is very, very important, but Liquor is behind them. Milo just taking this opportunity to cross over the ram, the push as well. He's trying to get this bad shot off the cliff. Little nudge there. Will the press take any damage? It takes a little bit, but not much. Cap, however, in full effect here for Lotus as well, who in round number 2 Kihan have a lot of control again over this battlefield.
Yeah, somehow right now Quick is out trading Baku on the hill, but the fact remains 16 seconds on the cap, make that 13 as Alex now starting to boost in. He wants to block Mindbreaker, but now Lucan gets reset, and this is going to start the push for Lotus in towards and up and over the middle as LeVay is able to pick up Baku on the hill, but still on the lower side I think is where it's going to be decided as Ramidik falls. Rishek coming in with the Inspire Medium. That's a lot of DPM with that Centurion.
Yeah, but he's getting flanked by LeVay here in that TVP, so he's going to be losing a lot of that HP very quickly by that TVP. Rishek now turning around, swinging. Might even switch to HE here in a second. So Jacob is coming as well, who gives a shot. Rishek with the high explosive, drops LeVay to a one-shot. And now, when we look at the situation, Gihan, sure, Yogurt has the hill, but to be able to play from the hill, another good HE shot from Rishek picks up, you need more than what they have currently.
Yeah, indeed, especially as Humble is about to fall. Alex, though, with a bounce, uncharacteristic for him, but still he has enough HP to be tanking yet another shot by Humble, who doesn't miss a beat. So Jacob, in the meanwhile, falling in the BZ, but now Rishek is able to pick up Humble, and Depressed from the sidelines with that bad shot is trying to do what he can, but that is only so much. A good first shot in towards Lukin, a second one on towards him as well, and Lotus are kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. That RHM is going to keep on sniping as a good strike is going to connect on towards Rishek and Alex. Both of them in one-shot range now. Rishek needs to be careful against HG from that Rheinmetall Liquor. Driving over, he tries to get crossfire. This is not over.
No, Kvik gets a good peek there on Lukin as well, but a good HE shot from Rishek. Lukin's not making it. He's not making it. Liquor with the pickup from the lower side. Rishek with another good HE shot. But yeah, that bounce from Alex can cost them more than we can imagine.
Yeah, indeed. Alex taking a lot of damage for that in return. Now Liquor is going to try and put a flanking play. We have to remember, good shot by Liquor in that bad shot is able to eliminate Alex. And now only Rishek remaining against 3. Yes, the RHM is an HE one shot, but Depressed in that bad shot certainly isn't, as Rishek gets spotted. That probably was the plane by Kvik. And now he needs to stay safe from 3 directions, but he can't. Yogurt are going to pick up their first round to make it 1-1, all even.
They are going to make it all even, indeed. And that's a choke from Lodeski. That is a choke.
That is kind of a choke, yeah. You said it, that bounce by Alex, very, very costly. And I think Yogurt at the end showing and demonstrating very good coordination between the team, taking a lot of different angles with the remaining tanks. And I think that coordination was missing a little bit from the team of Lotus when they overpushed. I think the focus fire was not completely on point there. They could have eliminated targets earlier, and then, yeah, taking another 650 damage that you don't need to. If you're Alex, that obviously is not helpful either.
No, that bounce cost him 700 HP, and then they got double strike later on as well. So yeah, and Baku somehow losing on the hill key hand. Yeah,
I think Baku was shot at by the TVP of LeVay as well. Oh, you can see 10-10-10, and a lot of that over long range as well. But yeah, Liquor with 6.6 and Quick with 4.8 as well. Those two really started shining, especially towards the end of the round. And I think Lotus, with that BZ heavy lineup, they just weren't finding those close engagements that they wanted to, and to be able to just blow up something squishy right away.
It is good for the match, and not good for Lotus that the situation happened. They're now going on to Pilsen, and I think they have an emotional team, Kihan, as well, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of the Lotus players in the past, Yuzek, we alluded to him already, and also Chucky, are prone to tilting.
What gives that? What gives you that impression?
Him streaming on Twitch.
Hmm.
I'm sure you've seen clips as well.
Me?
But it's great content, not gonna lie.
I only watch hot tub section.
Ah, all right. I mean, understandable. Well, from hot tubs, we're going to go to pretty cold-looking destroyed factory, actually. I'm not sure how to make a proper transition from that one, actually. But yeah, whoever is going to win this round is going to be on a match point. And if you're Lotus, you're not happy with that.
No, no. If you're Lotus, you should be looking at match point right now. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they're going to be a little bit emotionally distressed by how they lost that, because it's like, wow. But
yeah, how did that happen?
Yeah, how did
emotional
that happen?
damage even.
What can you
but
do? What can you do about it?
I mean, nothing. If you look at it this way, nothing really lost yet for either team. They haven't given up any points so far. For that, you need to go towards a match point. But Lotus are now going to come into this one, and kind of an interesting lineup we were talking about. And on Sunday, well, now the Tessak is indeed gone. It's instead going to be a singular RHM for Lotus, together with a Foch B, a Centurion, a CS63 double Batchat, and Alex in the mouse.
In return, Yogurt, RHM, double Foch B, double 430U, AX, and E100. We can see any kind of game here, but it looks like field from both of these.
Yeah, indeed. The double 430U, obviously very useful, good kind of hold down tank. Surprisingly good camo as well, so zero line play is not completely off the cards, as we do see the planes coming in by either side. And to be honest, Lukin with the better one, spotting 5 tanks, only missing the double Foch. And I think for Yogurt, Kvik was only able to see 2. This means replane is available for Lukin, and obviously the teams are going to communicate about that. Both of them now know that there is a light tank in play, and they also know that Kvik doesn't have the plane. Now he does, as one of his shots, I think, connected. Maybe in towards Jacob, who is damaged a little bit. Oh, Quick, though, with a little misplay, takes 800 damage right to the face.
Double bad shots, I need to take zero line, but that can be met by something he had. And met by something that the double bad usually does not handle very well.
Yeah, no, if there is one tank in the Batchat that you don't want to meet, it is the Foch B, and there is 2 of those on the zero line, as Chucky is going to spot out the double 430U of Depressed and Mindbreaker, who are obviously going to relay that information. This means that someone is probably on zero line. They don't want to cross the break in the bushes quite yet.
They're so close to each other.
Let's see. Oh, the plane immediately going down. That is a perfect plane coming out, and the Foch Bs are going to open up right there. The strike is going to go down as well, and that's going to be all she wrote for Chucky. Liquor and Humble now in full assault, but they're about to run out of shells. Need to be a bit careful here. Liquor all out of shells, but is going to heal back. Humble with the ram, but he's not going to be able to take out Milo, as Liquor blows up Mindbreaker. Needs to salvage the situation in his 430U.
Yeah, the 430U coming back in should seal the deal here for Yogurt. And yeah, if you're Lodis, that is a bummer. The plane coming in, immediately hitting home on that double Batchat one, getting deleted. I don't think he did more than 1 or 2 shots of damage. Sure, they're finding Ramadik for this, and Rishek actually made it away in the AX, but they're giving up a Foch B, and they're looking at a 5-on-4 with the mouse carrying most of their HP. It's not ideal.
Yeah, and the thing is, as soon as the Batchats get spotted there and start taking damage, that means they're never going to get unlit again, because that's all assist, that's all experience that Quick is then going to funnel into just more planes. So yeah, Lotus with that Batchat opening on the zero line, finding a lot of destruction, but for their own tanks, and now they're playing a little bit from behind against the supposed underdogs from Yogurt that, apart from that first cliff round, now are starting to look mighty fine.
Yeah, they're gonna be taking the strike on the field. Rishek will take it on time to deny though, so it will be Depressed needing to close the distance in as well to make sure that they have somebody to block it, and I think Yogurt here realizes this as well. No worries, 5 seconds left, plenty of time. Comes to block the cap, and now Lotus realized that, well, it's not good, is it? It's really not good. And Love even doesn't peek. I mean, very impulsive in that regard. Love not good. Out now. He gets pushed by Jacob, but that's full HP egg basically. So there's some magic would need to happen, and Alex in the meantime getting pushed by double 430U as well, which really loves mouses. It's great for the 430Us. And you can see that the result of this is now the Foch B going as a torpedo through as well. Mindbreaker, the press coming in as well, and Humble wants Sir Jacob. He needs to be a bit clean on the execution, but they will find that CS63 not the cleanest nonetheless, but you can see the heal coming in as well, keeping him alive and keeping the dreams of Yogurt alive as well, who steal the second cliff round, but this one well deserved, going towards them, putting themselves on match point.
Yeah, indeed. Yogurt looking very, very stable this round. All of this, obviously, off a good read that they had on that zero-line play, and from there on, never letting go of the advantage that they had worked for in the game. I mean, yeah, sacrificing that E100 at that point in time didn't matter at all, to be honest. Rahmedic was just trying to hold, just trying to delay for as long as possible. And then you could see how controlled Yogurt were actually playing it. They saw that the 430U was going to go on cap in time. And then, I mean, the Centurion, you said it during the game even. That was very, very mature gameplay, not peaking until free damage was all but guaranteed. So good stuff coming out from the Yogurt, putting themselves on towards match point. And Lotus, that is probably not what they bargained for.
No, for sure not. And worries starting to build again, Kihan, for this team. I mean, I think it's the second time. Like, I think I've seen them play Pilsen a few times already, and they keep losing on the field. They haven't won it once, and they also love playing bad shots against Fush Bs, and Fush B is just better for that kind of engagement.
Yeah, you can see here Chucky, he got to fire one shot, but the thing is, they got lit by the plane of the RHM. They probably didn't really have anything to shoot at until the Fosh essentially were in their face, and at that point, the first bat shot had already dropped. So all in all, great game here by Yogurt. And to be honest, I mean, Quick doesn't have a lot of damage, but he enabled his team to do a lot of that with a great play.
Yeah, I mean, Chucky loves to call himself the Messi of World of Tanks, but it's starting to look like Messi made in China, not Messi made in Argentina.
Yeah, Messi, well, the game certainly was messy if you're Lotus. But for Yogurt, I mean, great stuff for them.
It's not that Yogurt is, they won this round fair and square. The second cliff, they still converted it well. They played it out. Like, sure, Lotus gave them the opportunity, but it takes one team to give an opportunity and the second one to convert upon it. And they're doing that. And I wouldn't even be surprised if they convert this 3-1 and put Lotus in, like, if it was football, it would be like crisis. Third play day, crisis already. The trainer's up to get sacked.
Absolutely.
Newsflash. Jurgen Klopp is rumored to take over the Lotus coaching position as they look for fresh talent in the club.
They need a new spark of energy, maybe. Something like that. Yeah, all of this might happen.
A new vision, passion.
Passion, energy, footwork.
Exactly. They need all of it. They need more of it, even.
They certainly need more of it, and they certainly can start now, even, although, like we said it, the team of Lotus is prone to tilting as well. I mean, around like this, you're going to be shaking off like, all right, well, double Batchet over the zero line. They got double Fush B there. Unlucky GG got next. But I think the second cliff especially is going to be annoying for them. And now fighting from behind for the first time in the match. Not the first time in the season, though. It's not going to get easier.
No. The pressure is only going to build. Because if you lose the first 3 matches, you have a lot of worries ahead of you for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, phase 1 consists of 7 matches total, so losing 3 of those right at the start, that means you have more than half to still make up for it, but normally you're supposed to pick up points against teams that are supposed easy enemies, which is what Yogurt, before this day started, was. Yogurt are going to go with a different approach here. The double Fosh B is going to shrink towards a single one. They have an EBR together with a 430U, a mouse, and triple T57.
Lotus in return, double mouse, double bat, a CS, an AX, and a Fush B. Looking for the fight, perhaps, Keyhand.
Indeed, looking for the fight. Interestingly enough, both teams do not have a tracked light tank. That means no planes available. So Yogurt is going to be ahead in the spotting department with that EBR, but that means they're going to be behind in the shooting department, where obviously Lotus with 7 fighting, 7 combat tanks are going to have the edge. Rishek as well with that Centurion, Inspire medium. That's going to help a lot with, for example, the mouses, the CSs, his own gun as well. And Yeah, if the Inspire pops while the Foch B is clipping, that's only going to make it easier, as Chucky and Alex are going to slowly but surely drive towards the middle of the map with their double mouse.
Now the 57 is starting to aggress as well, though, for the side of Yogurt. They're coming towards the cap. It gets started. There's nobody on the middle strike, Kihan, and yeah, they could have the mouses to block, but the 57 will chew through those mouses. The question is here, how does Yogurt continue this game? What is their absolute end goal? Capping or pushing off of it?
Well, first of all, the strike on the one line does get taken by the Foch B, and you can see kind of the game plan for Yogurt coming together. They're going to have triple T57 that might explode out of that cap here on towards the mouse possibly, and the Foch B on that one line is going to be a menace as well. He's going to have easy side shots as Alex in that mouse is approaching the T57 on Mindbreaker, opening up the first shot, going wide though. Baku with the Foch B trying to come in as well. The mouse starts melting, and now the trap has been sprung. Vic still with the full clip of his T57. The mouse down towards a one shot. He does indeed get completely wrecked and blown up.
Yeah, but on the off screen as well, you see that Humble has fallen in the Foch B. He got surrounded by the guns of Lotus. And look at Chucky actually body blocking these tanks that are trying to get past him. Two of them will make it. Mindbreaker will not. He opened the gates for a second. Not sure why that was the case. He could have blocked them all and made sure that the way you shot, those who are dead will guide it. But now two of them do make it through. They do find the kill as well on him. Was almost a genius play.
It was almost a genius play, but maybe it will not matter as Depressed gets picked up in his 430U. Good shot by Ramedic on towards Lukin in the Batchat, and as the dust settles, Lotus are going to be left with an HP advantage of roughly 1.2k. That's 3 shots from a Batchat, but looking at the tanks, I'm not entirely sure who has the advantage here, because there is double autoloader available. Rahmedik in that mouse could be healing Liquor potentially up towards more than a 2-shot, and that EBR surely must be the playmaker now.
The issue is, I think, for Yogurt is that Liquor doesn't want to run away, and that the EBR is still needs time to work himself into this battle, and there's no low HPs for him to hunt either. So it is not going to be as easy as one may think for them to really get something going out here. Quick and the Foch B spot each other out. Baku doesn't end up taking a shot. Instantly ability popped by this 57 as well, so keep that in mind. And now Lukin and Milo on the long rotation across.
Indeed, as Lovey is going to pick up the strike. There is the possibility for a reset by Milo, but so far he chooses and opts to hold on to his strike for now. I think that is the correct decision at this point in time. He doesn't know who's on the strike, and if it's the EBR, he could even end up driving away too. As Lukin gets spotted here on the cross, that is a piece of information for the puzzle that Yogurt is trying to finish here right now. They are looking for the knockout punch on towards Lotus.
And it's looking good for them as well with the moves that they're making. So they take back a lot of control now, but at the same time though, Yogurt is making their own moves as well, Kihan. They're not entirely complacent, you know?
Yeah, no. They are reacting to what they're seeing. Quick here taking a shot of damage on the cross, but that is the healthier of the T57s. Not so healthy anymore as he takes a secondary shot, probably by one of the Batchats on the field. Good angle that was found, and now with Ramedic in the cap, in that mouse, they want to force the issue here, but the issue is that they are behind 2k at this point.
Baku watching that one line, he is going to get surprised by an EBR at some point, you would imagine. Spots out Quick as well. Good shot by that T57 heavy. The good thing is with this cap pressure, they are forcing... That was a strike on towards the tank taking the communications tower. Okay, they have one more on Love to strike the person trying to take the strike either middle or east, but yeah, it's not going to be easy for them still to get through this. Do they use it on Lukin is the question? No, they opt not to. They do get spotted out now with the 57 heavies, and Ramedic gets striked.
Indeed, that's going to reset the cap pressure here, and Milo is taking a secondary strike on the field. So for now, cap is not a big issue for the team of Lotus, as Lukin does find Liquor here, so the lower HP of the two T-57s does get found. That is a gigantic asset gone. Baku not finding the shots in towards Quick as well, who is able to reverse behind the rocks, but now Rishek starts coming, and that is not enough shots in that T-57 if you're even missing some on towards the Centurion action next. Quick down to a 2-shot, is in the full reload, probably calling for support from his buddy Rachmedik, but that one is preoccupied with the Foch B. The kill does go through, and now it's looking very much like a tiebreaker. Lotus with 4 tanks versus the 2 of Yogurt.
Yeah, that Foch B getting caught there. Great move from Lotus and P1D2. You didn't see it really on screen. He got surrounded by them. He didn't see any of them until it was basically too late. Love outplaying Lukendo. Bam. Gone.
Pim Pam.
But, Pim Pam, yeah. Tiki-taka. But, yeah, that was the biggest difference there, right? That he dies, and I honestly think Chucky should have just blocked the road altogether.
Yeah, I think that would have been the way to go.
The
maybe
ultimate
he was hoping,
play.
Yeah, maybe he was hoping to like let out one of the T-57s and then just catch 2, because that's easier to focus fire, but it looked kind of cool until it didn't. And so we are going to be left with a round number 4 that gets picked up by Lotus. They do struggle, but they manage to stay alive. They do secure at least 1 point here for the matchup. The EBR tries for another reset, gets killed, and so it's going to be 2-2, all even.
Yeah, exactly. 2-2 all even. Tiebreaker key hand. Which map does that give us?
I have to take a quick look at my cheat sheet to be able to tell you.
I can check for you if you want to.
Ghost Town is... Oh, no. So Jacob on Ghost Town. Oh, oh.
You think he is like flashing images in front of his eyes? Like, no. Info. Hit and run. DJ, imagine he one day, they go back to China. Imagine there's another China tournament, right? And they beat a DJ, and he stands in front of him, and he's like, "This is what you left me for."
Well, first of all, I mean, for Lotus, it should be full-on crisis mode, because those are probably 3 points that they bargained with, but at most, they're going to be going home today with 2 of those. And they'll still have to fight for the second here, as both teams are going to be securing 1. But if we keep with those football comparisons, then, both teams in the league are currently in a spot where 1 point doesn't really help either.
For sure. What kind of Ghost Town are we going to see here? They don't have that many light players left, though, from like before.
Well, are we going to see 2 EBRs blowing up right at the start again? It looks kind of funny when it happens, to be honest.
It would be very funny. I mean, that's the danger, though, with those EBRs, because it's 25-meter proxy range and they have such high camo, you won't see each other.
Until it's too late for both. And then you basically need to rely on your team to have hands and hit the enemy EBR.
In that scenario, normally both EBRs die. If you hit each other, they usually,
But yeah, Ghost Town. First of all, who had side pick? Actually, it was Lotus picking side, and Lotus picked south. For how much that's worth. But the thing is with Ghost Town, like, the EBR plays on the outside are not the only things that can happen, obviously. We saw a lot of fast cap attempts in previous seasons, basically taking like CSs or BZs in towards the middle and then forcing the opposing team to come close, whereas the opposing team then normally, tries to take control, tries to take strikes, etc. Stuff like this. The funniest thing to happen, obviously, is when both teams go for a fast cap attempt, and then all of a sudden they stand there and they have to start shooting each other, even though they probably didn't expect for it to happen. Although that is kind of rare nowadays. And yeah, I mean, Ghost Town as well, Predestined can open our map. One of the very few maps that it regularly sees use on, actually. I expected for it maybe to also get picked on Westfield, but there it's just more other tanks seemingly being better.
There's a lot of things possible on Ghost Town. There's a lot of metas possible. The Canoper has been a signature pick nowadays because it's just like, you know, you replace like the i7 or something with it, and you do get those resets, so why not? But like you said, they both could go for the cap here. I mean, Lotus does have Chucky and Rishak, I guess. That could be second and third lights, so they have the potential to play 3 lights for Yogurt. I'm not sure who'll be playing the second and third lights.
Yeah, although, I mean, realistically, if you start going into something like 3 light territory, which definitely is possible, you have really the problem of the missing firepower on your team. Like, at some point, it just becomes a huge issue that you are not able to remove the HP from the enemy tanks as fast as you would like to. So, triple light, I mean, it can be really good against 2 lights, but for that you need to rely on the enemy team to pick 2 in the first place. And then we also have the issue of people then playing light tank that realistically probably don't do it too often, that are probably more comfortable in other tanks as well. And at least for me in Onslaught, if I don't feel comfortable in a tank, then usually it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I do really badly in it.
There's only one of us, Tokihan, that went for a tiebreaker here.
Yep. I mean, yeah, your prediction is still on the table.
I even forgot about it myself.
Mm-hmm. You probably just rechecked now.
No, it just dawned upon me, you know?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So, as usual, you don't care about it until you have the possibility to win.
One prediction, Kihan. What is one prediction in the grand scheme of a whole prediction game, huh?
That is, of course, entirely true. But yeah.
Let me tell you, Kihan, it's very important, that one prediction, yeah?
Yeah, but only if you win
Kingdoms
it, right?
have fallen over less.
Oh, it's so dramatic all of a sudden. I mean, we are witnessing something potentially dramatic for the team of Lotus, more likely than
Look, if they lose,
the team of Yogurt.
If they lose like the next 2 matches, Kihan, at least they can start preparing for OCS again, you know? Home sweet home.
Oy, oy, oy.
Why?
But yeah, Lotus looking to go for the second point here in this match, in the tiebreaker, in the overtime. They're bringing a mouse, double T57, a Batchat, a CS, and double light tank, EBR RHM combination.
Yogurt in return, the can opener, not a surprise. i7, double bat, Leo, RHM, and a T100. So double light versus double light.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, both teams are going for 1 sniper medium with the artillery strike ability. The CS getting traded for a Leopard 1. That's a bit of mobility for, well, the better overall gun on the Leopard 1, I think is fair to say. And, I mean, that CS can also sometimes pull off miracle bounces with its turret and its upper plate. The Leo sometimes does that with the gun mantlet, but not too much. Chucky now driving with that EBR, trying to give an outside clear here, and he does find Quick in the EBR, in the RHM, excuse me, who probably told his team that, hey, there must be something on the field, guys. I just got spotted.
Yeah, this is the good thing here for Chucky is that there's no plane available. Ramadek taking some damage. Humble just playing the bushline. Milo getting spotted out, however. He's in the territory of the Leo. Yeah, Humble's taking a bush
Now
there.
there is a plane available.
Yeah, there's definitely a plane available now, but he dropped it onto 0 line first. The strike coming in as well. Lucan getting spotted out as well. Oi, 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 oi. Mindbreaker gets spotted out, but Humble gets planed now by Lucan as well in that RHM, so he's going to explode for this. Lucan still spotted, but goes de-spotted now, and actually the trade for Lotus ends up working.
Yeah, indeed. The trade not too bad here for the team of Lotus that managed to eliminate one of the light tanks of Yogurt. They obviously have a second one available, and the questions remaining obviously being how useful is Chucky going to be in that EBR. He's going to continuously keep the can opener spotted, and so that one can't run, but as Quick in the RHM has already evacuated, This means that for now the EBR is not going to be too impactful. I think now Chucky realizes that as well and drives away, as the Mouse and the T-57, at least the Mouse, did end up getting spotted as they are driving to the cap. Lotus, though, with the tank advantage, they can take this one a little bit slower than Yogurt, who need to make something happen. And indeed, big rotations coming out from the team in white.
They're not sure what to do, it looks like. I mean, there's some Lotus tanks aggressing the city pretty far. With that T-57, Risha going to be spotted out here as well. They are starting the cap. Alex and Sir Jacob joining up. All three of them spotted out now in front of the Preston, that I-7, who's backing away. Trying to get towards the safer angle. The EBR of Chucky very, very aggressive on that two-line, clearing a lot of ground in quick succession. Kind of boxing in Yogurt, who will have control of the east side of the map, but they don't know that they do.
Yeah, and how would they know? There are no real information towers right now that they think they can take. They are lacking the information, as the strike does reset the Mouse and the T-57. So as of right now, cap not too much of an issue, but within half a minute or so, that might be the case again. Rishek trying to drive out of the cap, takes 800 damage, rams the house, I think, twice or something, but he is going to make it away, maybe, gets tracked, gets held for the time being, as Lotus kind of resetting on towards the cap again.
So, as a result of this, Rishek took a lot of damage for this play, though.
Yeah, I think the Leopard of Yogurt really putting in the work, but after all of this, still Lotus are up by like 400 HP. You can see Baku as well. Baku wouldn't mind trading against someone that could be peeking out here. Depressed, and Ramadik are now driving closer towards the cap. They are going to have to fend against a Mouse and the T-57 with Rishek able to provide crossfire as well. The Mouse now activating his healing ability. The shot of the can opener is going to penetrate the front turret of the Mouse, and thus resets are coming in yet again.
The bad shots now starting to peek out as well. Ramadik starting to cross over. Everybody converging. Lickerin that Leo just gonna disappear in a second. He's trying to create some crossfire, but he's the one ending up in it. The strike coming in as well. Ramadik and Love taking that to the face. That's a mini strike there from the CS. 500 damage. Pretty good. Jacob down towards the one shot as well. Now Mindbreaker coming in. Picks up a reach check. So it's 2,000 lead now for Lotus at this moment in time. And Alex might be isolated. Love is on reload. He needs Quick to help him to pick up Milo, which will happen. HE shell, but the press not being able to pick the other angle for Yogurt. Does seem like this is a sealed deal, but take it back as Yogurt find 2 kills in quick succession, but they have to give up Ramadik for this though, and they're still playing against that double light whammy. That is going to be very potent. That is part of the battle.
Yeah, indeed. Now we are settling in towards a 4 versus 3 situation. Currently, no strikes available for either side. Chucky has the stage 3 ability active. How much that's going to help in the EBR, I don't know. But he is now taking the artillery strike once again. And most crucially, I think the 2 tanks by Yogurt on 1240 HP roughly each. The double bat shot, those are going to be the playmakers for this team here, but they need to make something happen soon, as 10 seconds only remain. And here the bat shot of LeVay is going to peek. Good shot in towards the Mouse, but obviously cannot peek further. Now as Chucky now takes 2 shots by Mindbreaker, so resets are coming in, but big strikes on towards LeVay put him down towards a 1 shot for the Mouse. Those are critical moments.
I'm hearing a double shot, Kihan. Are you hearing a double shot?
Double shot?
I'm hearing like a cycling sound, Kihan. I swear it has to be coming from... I'm not going crazy. I am not going crazy. Can you not hear it?
It's
I'm not... Can you not hear it?
I don't hear it, but I don't have game sound.
Then don't
First
speak.
of all, I mean, no.
Love poor guy getting surrounded by 3 of them. This is the point of the battle, though, where the EBR in RHM is very powerful. Because they just... It stopped. I'm telling you, it stopped. Oh.
Very good. Not going crazy anymore.
The voices. But, ooh, Quick might find the kill. It's annoying, though. Mouse with RHM, you just enough pen to penetrate him, but They need so much in this battle to come back if you're Yogurt. You need to find 2 kills, Kian.
Yeah, and the thing is also that Lotus are taking away a lot of the utility that's spread out over the map. They just used, I think, the spotting tower. And, I mean, yeah, the strike does reset Crick here, who doesn't even opt to go to plant it there on the artillery strike once again. So this means that Crick now possible 2-shot for basically everything on the enemy team, and Mindbreaker, the only one with some HP to speak of remaining. But speaking of HP remaining, I mean, Baku has more than the entirety of Yogurt combined.
I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy, I'm telling you. Quick taking the strike on E1, F1. There's a plane from Luke, and they're starting to establish some crossfire though. Ooh, Chucky now moving in on towards Mindbreaker. This is greedy though, Kihan. This is greedy.
That is very greedy, and he is going to pay the ultimate price. He is going to pay with his life for that place. One of the very mobile tanks of Lotus is now gone. You can also see Alex was able to heal up above a 1-shot for the Batchat as well here. So this means that it's not going to get easier despite the pickup onto the EBR, but do they have anything to reset with? I'm not really sure, as Mindbreaker is now trying to desperately dive towards this cap, but the combined alpha of the mouse and the CS should be enough. Baku doesn't convert it yet, but he was just waiting for the right time. Base captured, and Lotus barely avoid disaster. They are going to make your prediction come true. It's going to be 3-2, but oh boy, was it ever a rough ride.
I'm sending you an invoice from my doctor. The voices were so loud, Kihan. I'm telling you, I'm not crazy. I am not crazy.
That's what a crazy person
exactly.
Say,
they're gonna lock me in a room.
In a rubber room?
Yeah, filled with rats.
Oh no. But yeah, congrats to Lotus for getting the first OLS victory on the board for themselves. And I mean, Yogurt, they were the underdog coming in, but they're still going to go with the consolation prize of a single point. I would say more was possible.
Real and true, Kian. Real and true. But at the end, I think Lotus deserved to win it, though.
Yeah. I think overall, they looked like the better team. I mean, if it, for example, ends up working out like the first Pilsen round, where you just end up with 2 Batchats driving into double Fosh B, that it is what it is sometimes. But overall, I think, yeah, the better team won here. But it also decided, it was deserved that this match went to overtime, because I think neither team deserved it after the regular 4 games. And so after all of this, I mean, we still have questions about Lotus, I think, because
it was not convincing.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced. They need to bring a lot more to the table if they want to make it into phase 2 and possibly further, because right now I don't see them in the top 4.
Yeah, making it to phase 2 is one thing. You want to really make it to the top 4, right? So they could still grow in the season. Maybe this is the victory they needed to get going, get the ball going. You know, like, wow, we won our first match, got it out of the way with. But there's a lot of stuff still to work on for them.
Well, that's going to be all she wrote for now. And after 2 matches with 2 tiebreakers, we are going to go in towards a short break. And when we come back, we'll have 2 more matches to go.
This is the world's most advanced processor. In entertainment, its rendering speeds render other processors obsolete. Powers cloud services for billions. Helps change the course of climate change. And uses AI to accelerate disease detection and cures. We make the world's most advanced processors, but only with your vision can we advance the world. AMD. Together, we advance.
Hello there, and welcome back to our third match of the day. And after 2 tiebreakers, Daki, I think this has the potential to not go to a decider.
No, if there was any match, Kihan, today where you could be like, well, if you're a Ping fan, maybe it's time to close the eyes, look away, and just don't look until it's over. All the pain will end soon.
Maybe, because Ping, that made it through relegations in towards the AMD OLS Season 3, are going to take on arguably the strongest team. Although here we have some questions as well, especially after this day number 1, where Cashback lost. I think that was... so far Cashback losing in the regular season wasn't really a thing, but they did end up losing in tiebreaker to none other than Hit, who we are going to see against Mafia in the last match of the day. First of all, though, it is going to be the upstarts, the underdogs, against the OLS Season 1 winners.
Yeah, Cashback still a formidable team. They were in the finals, Kihan, last time around. Sure, they didn't win, but Season 1 winner, Season 2 second, Season 3 third, you know, like if we're keeping the season names in check.
Who knows? But I think the team that we're seeing on screen right now definitely have their work cut out for them. The first day also not going too well for them. Not a lot of points for them on the board currently. Maybe they can make the upset happen, because Cashback, in the past, if they lost matches in the regular season, if memory serves correctly, they also sometimes weirdly struggled against worse teams, but usually it was quick and clean affairs.
For sure. But now, this is more of a proving moment for Ping than it is for Cashback in a way, because you expect Cashback to win. I think the community prediction probably will say the same with like a 95-5 percentage line. For Cashback, this is a step. For Ping, this is a leap to take. They need to show that they can fight a team like Cashback. 96-4.
Yeah, and you were almost right on the money with predicting the prediction, 96-4%, and to be honest, taking all previous results, etc., into account, I think that is fair, as harsh as it might sound.
Yeah. It is pretty fair, to be honest. And Liberty, you know, standout player across multiple seasons, Kihan. There's not much that has not been told about this man, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Put that man in whatever tank you want, and he is going to perform. He is one of the prime light tank players, possibly even the best light tank player in the world. Very, very versatile as well. If no light tanks are needed, that man is an absolute menace in the T57 as well. And T57s is just what we might see with this set of maps, Darky. Ghost Town and Studzianki getting banned out. So we are going to go to good old Himmelsdorf. And after that, it doesn't get less, I guess, city-esque with Hensk. Then Pilsen, Westfield, Murrow, and Cliff being banned out. So the decider would happen on a map we haven't seen so far at all today, but during the first stream of the season, we saw it a lot. Sand River, the new addition to the pool.
I mean, it makes sense in a way, like when you've played a map so much already, that you then move on to like something else, right, for the short best of series. So Sand River was the flavor of the day then. Now it's different. I personally don't mind it. It's fine. We saw a lot of it. I guess we'll see a lot of it still during the season. But, you know, when you as a team play it so much to start with, it makes sense to play one of the other prepared maps. Wow, guys, come on, man. It's not very nice, huh?
Oh, well, I mean, you're going with the Constellation ramp for Ping. But I think everyone else was like, yeah, nah. Looking at the names, this one's going to be quick. It's going to be painful for Ping, and then it's going to be over.
Real. But still, 3-0 key. Is it so unimaginable for them to pick up 1 round?
No, I think if decimals were a thing here, I would go with like 3 to 0.5 because I wouldn't be sure if Ping wasn't gonna pick up a round or no, but it obviously isn't. So yeah, here we are. I flipped the coin and the coin landed on a 0 for Ping. Cashback now trying to pick up the first point, and they're going to be doing so with double Forge B CS, triple T57, and Brainbreaker rocking that ISM.
Ping in return, E100, i7, CS, double Forge, 268, and an E4. So a bit different style here, Key.
Yeah, indeed. Cashback are looking for this absolutely brutal firepower of the triple T57 paired with 2 Forge Bs, no less. That is a lot of clip potential, and Ping going a little bit more with the single shooters. And to be honest, like the V4 and the E4 both don't fare too badly against the autoloaders if they don't get caught by like 4 of them because of the damage reduction, and also the V4 especially for those Forge Bs is extremely annoying to penetrate at medium to long ranges.
So we can see now that Twilight taking the strike immediately, Brainbreaker moving towards the 3 line, and the 57s here trying to get some shots out in the beginning. Not able to hit too much, just 1 shot against the like, and there is Hill for Ping, but not for long.
Indeed, not for long, as the CS63 of Ping is gonna go towards the information tower. Does he pick it up is the question, and he should, Jacek, that is, because there is the double Forge B of Cashback coming in, and indeed, the strike is going to reset the CS63, but still, the double Forge B is out very, very far. However, is there a strike available for Twilight in that CS? No, so currently they won't be able to reset, and the double Forge B building kind of a trap here, but the CS is going to avoid that. Jacek is booking it away from the hill. He's going to go into the D0 hold down, where he would definitely see the double Forge B approaching over the 0 line if they choose to do so.
Yeah, but the interesting part is both these teams making very similar rotations. I mean, look at the double Forge B arriving for the side of Cashback as well. Barbarian and Liberty now arriving. The Forge Bs from Ping are still going up, so they could hit a timing here. Ooh, they definitely hit a timing with Jacek going to the open. He takes a shot immediately, and now David and Baton are looking to receive this a little push here, but Liberty will spot it out, sees David now. That will tell him, yo, Mr. Barbarian, I need your support, I need your allegiance here on this part of the map. And now Liberty starting to tank it out. He realizes that he cannot survive against the overmatch of Forge B. He's trying to go around, trying to stay alive, and he's starting to heal now as well. But can he stay alive for long enough? No, he needed like a second longer. And now Barbarian moving on towards Jacek. It is still pretty even here, Kihan. I'm gonna be honest with you, not sure who's edging ahead, and good block there from Baton. And Twilight does not get the shot. He's pushing down still, though. Gets rammed a little bit. Twilight hits the shot as well, so he will have earlier reload. And outside of that, Twilight finds the kill. Barbarian will be coming in now as well. The ram from Baton, but it's going to be a 1v1 between Baton and Barbarian, and Baton already used his ability.
Indeed, but he is healing up a little bit, but I think Barbarian should be reloaded earlier, still has his ability available as well, pops it now, so he is going to heal quite a bit back as the Forge B start clipping out. We see in the middle of the screen as well, the fray everywhere has started as Barbarian on a one-shot is going to survive here, but the ram doesn't secure it. He should be healing back more of this. This is the most awkward one-on-one on the 0 line that I have ever seen. Baton, though, falls in the Forge B over towards Little, so as the dust settles, it is going to be a 4v4 with the HP advantage for the team of Cashback, as Little finds an E100 out in the open, but that one too healthy. Adi already healing back is going to be able to put another shot in that T57. Like gets found by Akka as that one gets peeked by the ISM. No damage though, as Akka with the second kill in his clip is able to save Squeezy from the V4.
Yeah, really awkward hill engagement there in general as well. I mean, even without the strike from Little, I think that they would gonna be able to pick up that Forge B anyways. Barbarian had always earlier reload, you know, so there's that. But they do find it as well, and you know that hill engagement there, they tried to blow with Liberty, they took a bit too long still for it, half a second longer, and he would have healed through another shot, becoming even more annoying. But Twilight, it looked a little A little risky there, Kian. Yeah, going for the CS63, but he did win the fight.
Indeed, he did win the fight, and thus the zero line went Cashback's way. Not that I think, in the grand scheme of things, like it looked very engaging on that zero line, but overall, the game was probably decided on the lower side, regardless, where Cashback ended up coming out with like 3 to 4 tanks alive, whereas all of the ping players had collapsed. So I think like a 1 or 2 shot Fosh B from the hill, from either side coming down, doesn't really have a say in the game anymore if, well, the rest of the battle has already played out. And we do see that Liberty, with that play, was able to deal a lot more damage than the counterpart, the other Fosh B on the side of ping. Probably the problem with only 2 shots of damage. That is certainly not what you wanted to end up seeing here. Only got to shoot 3 times.
No, yeah, and that was good there for Cashback. You know, Ping tried to take the engagement then against the Fosh Bs, and it's funny how that timing ended up winning them the game. By the way, Key, because Jacek drove up, right, and he took 1 shot during that. Remember? Mm-hmm. And that 1 shot actually is the difference there between him surviving and him dying, and them losing zero line or them winning zero line. But does that mean they win the game? No, because they're losing the lower side, so probably not. But still.
All right, so Cashback taking a hard fought, I think it's fair to say, round number 1 here. And I think through all of this, the T57s by Cashback on the lower side really were putting in the work, and especially on that 1-2 line, that is very commendable, because there is so many, like, there is this long fence going along the rails, if you know what I mean, and that completely shuts down any use of heat if you don't completely drive over in towards one line, red line. Then you maybe have to shoot AP even, but against something like a 268B4, that is super annoying.
For sure. Captain's rating, Kihan, a little bit away from each other, right?
Slight difference of 1.2 to 7.1, but yeah, I think we are looking at one of the prime contenders to win the AMD OLS, that is Cashback. And on the other side, we are looking at one of the prime contenders to be knocked out in phase 1. So that's just how the cookie crumbles here. And I think that's fair, right? All of the 8 captains submitted their rating, and this is what we ended up with. A lot of the captains really respecting Cashback.
Some
really
captains, though, Kihan.
Huh?
Some captains respect themselves more than others, though.
Yeah. I guess so. I mean, some hopium coming in there as well.
I mean, you know, it's interesting to see the believe in themselves, but yeah, that's it.
I mean, if you don't believe in themselves, in yourself, might as well, you know, stop playing. So I think at least that's good to see.
That's why Kian doesn't play. He never believed to start with.
Oh. I have always been a believer.
A believer, maybe, yeah.
As we look into tank picks for round number 2, for Cashback, it's going to be quite the switcheroo, actually. 1 BZ75, a mouse, a 277, double T57. Those were working out last round, and just as I say that, a third one does get added together with the 121B.
I like the 121B, nice inspired tank. One available for ping as well with double Fosh B, double T57, 75A, and a 60P. Again, I think the lineup from Cashback has more to this inspired than the other way around.
Yeah, although once again with the triple autoloader, it's always questionable how useful the Inspire actually is for those autoloaders, especially with the T57 ability, where you essentially make your gun good all by yourself. You don't need the Inspire for it. It is a little bit of the help during reload, but realistically, single shooters profit a lot more. As we do see the opening coming in, Little and David, 121Bs on either side being picked here on Himmelsdorf, are going to trade swings, and we do have a tiny little trap on the banana, but no one's stepping into it right now.
Will they step into it? No. At all. There's no opportunity for them to fall for this trap, and they will have to spring themselves on towards the 60P, who's just holding there. Twilight coming across. Adi now starting to back away. The T57s are starting to move in. The double Fosh B moving in towards Isaac there in the mouse. Aka trying to cover him as well. Isaac now in deep, deep trouble here, starting to back away. Baton and Like smell blood in the water, but can they take him out in quick fashion? Twilight, in the meantime, though, getting clipped out by not one but two T57 heavies, while Isaac in return getting clipped out by the double Forge B as well. Squeezy and Liberty only now starting to clip out against this 60 TP, but he's more annoying than that mouse. They don't have the damage required to pick him up. It will have to be Barbarian, my goat, to pick up this 60 TP, but in the meantime, already secondary reloads coming in for Ping on those 57 heavies.
Yeah, indeed, Barbarian manages to pick up the 60 TP, so the guns are going to be even. Just as I say that, Arca falls. So once again, Ping with the advantage also in the HP department. Little has been found as well with that 1-1B, and he wants to keep his gun in the game to be able to keep inspiring all of those tanks in the enemy team. Good shot by Like in the Forge B, and now Miku has arrived with the T57. The 4 shots all fly home, and the 1-1B bites the dust. Beton now is going to get focused up. So now 1 Forge B less, but still Ping with 5 tanks against Cashback's 3.
And if Ping continue this space, they will be shutting up 3 out of the 4 casters with their disrespectful prediction. But as we say that though, Liberty finding another kill there on towards that 758. Ping, Kihan, doesn't seem like they want to shut you up at all.
Well, first of all, we have to see what those 3 T57s by the team of Cashback can still do. Obviously, that is still a lot of firepower, a shot going in towards Like in that Forge B that positions himself to be able to shoot on towards Squeezy. That really starts feeling the hurt now. The double T57s of Squeezy and Liberty trying to clip back, but now Jacek is on the prowl with that T57. Make that 1-2. The third one so far not to be found. This is bringing Barbarian into action. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Down the 1-1B goes, but now he is reloading, and he doesn't have the damage in the clip to completely take out the Forge B. Liberty has reloaded. How many shots remaining? He needs one more. He finds it. 3 versus 2. But Barbarian about to go down. Make that 3 versus 1. Cashback are coming back into this one. Barbarian, how many shots is he going to do? How much is he going to give back towards Like, who is getting clipped in the side as well? The firepower of the T57 is going to bring home the day. Cashback are going to completely take down Himmelsdorf 2-0.
He didn't deserve that, Kihan. He didn't deserve that. He did not deserve that. What a throw. 7058 driving through the open. Getting picked up by Liberty for no reason whatsoever, giving up some crossfire from like the window position, for example. When they have the cap, Cashback has no opportunity to do anything. They can't drive into the cap. They can't take any strikes. It all starts with the 705A, and then Jacek not pulling back and reloading, getting killed by Liberty. Really good stuff though from Barbarian, Squeezy, and Liberty.
And 18.
And
holy crap!
The 357s have 7 kills between them, but honestly though, Key, as well as Cashback played, you have to say what a disastrous endgame from Ping.
Yeah, no. It felt like the players of Ping were kind of disconnected from each other. There were like 5 players available at that point, and it was 5 single players or 5 players alone playing against the unit of the T57. That if they get asked how they played this game, they're probably going to be like, anyway, I just started blasting.
It's unbelievable, Kent. Is what I would call this. It's so sad. Like they realize they're winning, and then they're just like mental freeze. You know, it's like they had a double milkshake straight to the brain.
Yeah. But maybe they'll be able to do a better on Ensk out of all maps. I mean, Cashback, I think Season 1, their signature map was kind of Ghost Town. But Season 2, oh boy, I remember they were very good on Ensk, and there might be a reason why they are picking it here.
Was it Season 1 or Season 2 they had like this undefeated streak of Ensk?
I think that was Season 2, like 15 or 16 games, something like that. It was crazy. I think almost the entirety of the regular season they went undefeated on Ensk. And to be honest, not too much has changed. So for Cashback, I can entirely see why they're picking Ensk, and you could see on the team of Ping, they didn't want to play Ghost Town, which is also a scary map to play on against Cashback.
You got to play one or the other, though. I'm really sad for Ping because like they did everything right this round until the final chapter in the book. It's like watching a certain show about like dragons and stuff and like kingdoms, and then, you know, the last 5 episodes make you want to forget about the first 7 seasons. You know?
Well, we indeed did see a game of throws right here in that last round, and hopefully Ping are going to be mentally reset. Maybe they are going to get a cool beverage from the fridge, or maybe some coffee, and possibly they're even enjoying that one out of the Onslaught mug that is available on the store at this very moment. But in we go into the possibly last round of this match number 3 on the stream. It is going to be on Ensk, no less, and I think at this point in time it's fair to say that the odds are very much stacked against Ping.
Yeah. That was their opportunity, Kihan. That was their opportunity.
And they let it slip. They did not realize the potential they had in that round. Or maybe them realizing is exactly what made them throw it. They were like, oh no, we're actually winning. Holy crap, no, what am I supposed to do now?
I don't believe in them on Ensk, and that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like it's over, you know?
Then again, we saw, like, during Playday 1 as well, with the team of Hit that had picked Ensk, they completely got surprised. So there is the possibility here, but I think for Cashback, they just love those T-57s on those small city maps, and that is why they are bringing 3 yet again, and they're pairing that up with another 2 autoloaders, Batchat and Forge B, and then some meat with those double mouses.
Yeah. And Ping, Forge B of their own, E4... Triple T57 and a double mouse, so evenly matched in the lineups. The biggest difference there is, you know, a Batchat and an E4, Kihan.
Yeah, Batchat 4 and E4. I mean, both of those are kind of damage dealer tanks. The Batchat, obviously, with a lot more mobility, but less staying power in an extended fight. But a Batchat, once it really pops off, can be very detrimental to the enemy team. On Ensk as well, no less. So as the teams open up, we see Iceset and Twilight in those mouses, pretty isolated. All of their 5 autoloaders from Cashback are immediately booking it to the western part of the map, where we also see the team of Ping coming in, and that is actually very concerning for Ping, because time and time again we have seen Cashback with those autoloader setups in the city being absolutely brutal and on point. Let's see if they're able to repeat it this time to make it the clean sweep over Ping, or what they're going to do. Beton already taking a shot of damage from Twilight. That is the mouse from the middle of the map. The Batchat also contributing damage, and in we go. Cashback pulling the trigger, and wherever Beton is looking, there is an autoloader. He evaporates completely within seconds.
Yeah, but they're gonna trade on Iceset, though. They should, but giving up a Forge B for this poor Beton, man. He was so close to them, and he may never know. It's a good strike. That's a good strike. Minus 800 on Miku and Like. And Iceset is preparing for his destiny as well. In 2 battles so far, he has been the lamb to the sacrificial slaughter, because Himmels and this the same. Another good strike coming out, though. That's a lot of strike damage there, actually, from Cashback. But they're down in HP because their mouse has died, yeah.
Yeah, indeed. The mouse of Cashback being removed by the T-57s of Ping is going to mean that Cashback are going to fight a little bit from behind in the HP department. However, Liberty is going to get another free reload of the T-57s of Ping, now on the rotation through the north of the map, but crossing over those rails can be oh so costly. Botchans with that mouse now trying to soak up a lot of damage, but no one seems to be interested in shooting him currently. The same cannot be said for David and Little, that both take a lot of damage to the face, but Aka doesn't have the shells required. David is going to survive for now. He's going to do the remainder of his shots. Little falls as well, and Ping somehow still ahead in the HP, and 2 more tanks. This is once again theirs to lose.
Can they convert it, though? Let's not speak too soon about Ping and what they can do, because they've shown us that they are able to lose rounds that look in the bag before. This one is also looking like it's in the back. You had they have 6 versus 4, and they even have Twilight isolated. But Botsian starting it off by giving himself up to Squeezy, Kihan. Not what you want to see. Magic has happened, and you know what, Kihan? You know who won the last round? Remember the last 3 players?
Well, it was Liberty, Squeezy, and Barbarian this time around. They also have 3 autoloaders, but only one of those detrimental T-57s. 3 of those still available for ping.
Hi, David.
But one is 1-shot, one is 2-shot, and one is a 3-shot. Liberty now taking the information tower, is going to use it almost immediately, so full information available for the team of Cashback. And the strike barely, but it does connect.
Yeah, and Squeezy finds Miku, dropping him to 400. It's happening again, Kihan. It's happening again. History repeating itself.
Like is now going to go for the strike, but if we take a look at the lineup of Cashback, there is nothing really worth striking at this point in time. Squeezy, though, taking a shot of damage in his bat shot. As Miku 409, that is a potential 1-shot, almost a 50-50 for the Forge B, less so for the bat, as the cap now gets started. And Adi, that healthy mouse, he is the one that currently holds the HP close. Actually, there is a single point of HP difference between either team, but the gun advantage still there for the team of Ping that now have committed a secondary tank on the cap. The timer is on for the team of Cashback.
And it's going to have to be Squeezy, actually, to get the reset here. Like holding that angle, Squeezy knows that he can go wide with that bad lot of camo as well. It's actually going to come from the front even this time around. While Barbarian pressuring Yasik, tracks him immediately, driving through the strike. It misses Barbarian, so not as great as it could have been. Liberty and Miku trading it out. Barbarian now starting to trade out against the T-57 of Like, who does have him. He does pick him up. Important kill there. Squeezy in the meantime clipping out against the back of Adi. That's the worst target for Squeezy right now, though.
It is a bad target for him, and he misses a couple shots here. Also very annoying with the with the fence there. He does make one more, so now the mouse actually in 1 clip range for the bad shot, but still 2 most likely 2-shot T-57s, and we just saw if the T-57 activates the ability how detrimental it can actually be. Liberty here is going to pick up the strike, and this means that the mouse is now 1 clip and strikeable for himself, but he is going to have the backup of the double T-57. Liberty is also going to start driving away here. He is going to, unknowingly though, avoid the mouse for now. Is there going to be an HE in towards the back? He activates his ability. 1, 2, 3. And is he going to make the 4th one? Not for now, but he does hold. Well, yeah, 4th one bounces. Not that it makes a huge difference at this point in time, but he is probably screaming for help, because he does need a lot of that, but his teammate in the bat shot, Squeezy, is at this point in time picking up the strike. Both of them holding on to it. Is he going to use the strike? I think he was doing just that. It does connect on towards both T-57. The second one is going to kill only one.
It's happening. They almost killed 2 there against those 57. That peak, the strike placement, he gets all of it. He gets it all, Kihan, for free, basically. I mean, he dies, but he was dead already. Miku is now 9 HP, and it's not good for Ping. It's really not good right now. Squeezy has low noise as well. He's like a stealth demon on this map.
And the thing is, he only needs this 1 clip that he has loaded currently, because if we look at it, Adi, 3-shot, Miku, obviously
he doesn't even need to kill Adi.
Yeah, probably it is enough to kill Miku and then let the time run out.
Ooh.
Good shot by the mouse. They recognize where he's probably going to be coming from. But that means that Miku currently with that T-57 is going to be known. Now, does he expect for the Batchat to come in close? I don't think he picked up the strike, so that one he doesn't have. So the Batchat right now probably thinking about what to do. Once again, the mouse is going to be spotting the Batchat. That is very good play by Adi here. That is desperately trying to hold on. And if Squeezy commits to this one, this means he would most likely be taking one by the mouse. And at that point, he becomes a one-shot for the T-57 as well. Squeezy backed into a corner, doesn't really know what to do. Miku staying close. That is a smart play by him. He starts picking up the strike. This is surely going to force Squeezy's hand on towards the mouse. He is going to try and make a run for it. Does he take the shot by the mouse? No, he doesn't. And he even drives out of the strike. But now Adi there is still on a 3-shot. And Squeezy, he just needs to let the time run down. Is the mouse going to be quick enough? The answer is yes. And Ping find the point.
It almost happened again, bro. It almost happened. Squeezy almost did the miracle there. Couldn't do both. He couldn't be far enough away from the mouse and at the same time dodge the strike. So that one shot that the mouse hit there was the one, and he had. I'm gonna say it. It should have been 2-1 right now. Yeah, you get
could be 2-1
no,
right now for Ping. Yes,
not could,
should maybe. Yeah,
it would be fair.
Well, I guess Ping didn't throw this one far enough, so Cashback weren't able to catch it, and Ping are going to reward themselves with an extremely hard-fought point there at the end. Or rather, point on the board, not point on the table right now, as of now. But yeah, for Squeezy, at the end of the day, he just couldn't kill both.
He really couldn't kill both. But it got so close again, man. Imagine the strike actually killed the Miku and...
No, that would have been absolutely crazy. At that point in time, Squeezy just needs to run. And Adi needs to drive at him, and then the bad shot clips him out, and that's it. GG. Cashback 3-0. Like this, though, we are going to get a content extension. And, well, I mean, if you ask him, it probably wasn't his fault. Liberty, that is. 7.5k damage. Holy moly.
Yeah, he did a great job there. Although he had that one bounce on the mouse, you said it's not an important. It was as well, because they could they could have struck the mouse and Liberty could have escaped further. Because the mouse would be two-shottable to the strikes. Double strike him, yeah. Liberty backs away to the furthest behind buildings. He always does 1 or 2 shots before dying. Now he couldn't because the mouse was cutting off his retreat, right? So if he hits that...
I mean, he's kind of under... huge pressure at that point in time because he knows that the T-57s of the opposing team are not going to be long.
No, sure.
And like he needs to use the last shot in his clip so he can start his long reload off. So he was forced into shooting probably maybe some 20-30% shot. It didn't connect. And so we are left with another match point for Cashback. 3 of our predictions already in shambles. Yours still up for grabs, Starkey.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But even mine shouldn't be the case right now. Ping deserves 2 rounds.
Absolutely.
Then again, deserving, you get what you deserve at the end of the day. It's easy to say such a thing. Cashback did a great recovery and Ping handed it to them. That is still the difference between a good team and a great team. A great team will never give you back that Himmelsdorf round. It will not. They will not give it to you.
No. Like, even if you're ahead, then like the low HPs will just not suicide. And that is the separation that sometimes happens. But we see that Ping are in this match, and they have certainly come to fight. They're putting up a fight against a team of Cashback that, yes, they pull some great clutches, and almost this last round as well. But Ping, I would say so far, with the better tactics, just lacking a little bit in the executions, in the endgame situations. But maybe... this second round of Ensk is where they make it to tiebreaker. Or everything that we saw might be eagle-eyed on the first round of Ensk by the second one if Cashback takes this round. And Cashback, they seem a little bit annoyed with what has transpired here in this previous round. And now they're making up for it. Compensation through firepower.
Ping, on the other hand, double mouse, triple T57, bat, and Force B. Oh, one switch there for Cashback. One Force B to FT57.
Doesn't take away from my point. That is still a hell of a lot of burst potential coming in by the team from Ukraine. Triple T57, I think that's 4,800 clip potential right there. And if you activate the level 2 ability from the T57, you do that in like 2.5, 3 seconds maybe. So, yeah, that is... 1.5 tanks on the opposing team just gone if, that is a big if, they get the jump on towards one of those tanks.
And what does it look like? The strike might be impactful here though, Keyhand.
Well, both teams going mostly towards the city, but the bad shot of Ping this time around is going to secure the strike on the field, pretty much uncontested. The triple T57 by Cashback getting found already, and that is a lot of damage in towards Squeezy, with the strike as well going down towards 82. Perfectly working out as Yajic picks it up. Quick first blood.
That was insane, actually. I don't know how that came to be, and now Little's getting repushed. He's missing shots as well. He doesn't have enough, and triple T57 are driving his way. The strike will come out. It will hit home. It will hit a lot of targets, but the 57s are off of reload. Little's about to be deleted. He's getting made 15 centimeters shorter as his head gets cut off by Cashback, who now coming back in with Barbarian, with Liberty as well, trying to do something, trying to make something happen here, but it's going to be so hard for this team to really bring it back home. Barbarian could finish off Miku, but the ram from Adi, the mouse, spinning him around a little bit there, making it so he has no opportunities to shoot. Jacek coming back in with his bad shot, finds Aka, and Cashback on the verge here of having to take a tiebreaker against Ping.
Indeed, as Twilight gets shot down, it's only going to be 3 tanks remaining for the team of Cashback as Liberty takes a full clip by like Yajic, about to be reloaded as well. Liberty ducking and weaving, but that is a very slow T57 heavy. Gets set on fire as well, down and out, and only Ice Set together with Barbarian remaining. And for Ice Set, man, this match, he just is not catching a break.
No, but Squeezy, they're just getting deleted in that T57 heavy. I don't even know what that was, Kian.
That was, once again, the magic trick of... I think he got hit by triple T57 through the 3 and 4 line, then a shot as well from the mouse in the middle, and then the bat shot to finish it off. That was essentially the entirety of the Ping team getting freebies, now surviving with 6 tanks and 10k plus HP here. An absolute statement, and, you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda. If Ping don't throw the second Himmelsdorf, they're looking at a 3-1 against Cashback.
Yeah, my prediction's in shambles, but it's fine.
Absolutely. Content. Today is one of those days.
For tiebreakers, Kian.
Tiebreaker is happening on, give me just a second, Sand River.
Oh, no, I mean 4 tiebreakers.
I mean the third one now, and then
Remind me of the good old
the last
days,
remaining match. I mean, last remaining match is Hit versus Mafia, and that
is the one you would predict to go to tiebreaker.
Exactly. But maybe that's why it won't, right? Yeah, Squeezy. Forget this round ever happened, my dude. Go next. Sometimes it just do be that way.
Sometimes it do be indeed that way for him. And Cashback tries to recover, but this time around, there's no way back in. There should never be a way back in, you know?
Yeah, no. And the thing is, like, Cashback, it sounds weird to say, but Cashback is only in this tiebreaker against Ping because they showed a great comeback on Himmelsdorf. Like, normally, if Ping were playing against a team that is not individually as on point as Cashback is, discard of what we just saw by Squeezy, then, you know, this match is already over. So it's kind of crazy to see.
It's worrying even for Cashback.
Yeah, they didn't have the best of starts to this season, and now they're kind of continuing with that.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's a little bit worrying, Kihan. Slightly worrying.
Yep. And Ping even had the side pick on Sand River, and they did pick West.
Okay. Picking West, by the way. Picking West.
Yeah.
So much for East bias, huh?
Yeah, so much for East bias. Although that one kind of was debunked already on day one, where it felt like the Western team had a lot of advantages, and the fact that the points of interest all around the map are scattered in a way where the South becomes less important makes the fact that the dunes are shaped favorably for the Eastern team negligible.
It is indeed, I don't know. I mean, Ping could win this. I mean, Cashback hasn't really looked like the better team, to be honest. Maybe the better clutch team.
Yeah. Then again, like, Ping in this last round, I think, surprised Cashback so hard that there was no clutch possible at the end of the day anymore. Because you could see what Cashback were trying to do after losing the first T57. They were, all right, we are down a tank. We need to immediately do something now. And Ping were like, oh yeah, please do something. Please drive into our T57s. The strike there was huge from Cashback, but the fact that even with such a strike, it didn't even get close, just goes to say how far behind Cashback were after the opening by either side. Maybe Cashback were getting a little bit predictable as well, because historically they have run this like T57 peak strat as well, and Ping were just so ready. Like the position from which Squeezy got clipped with the triple T57 by Ping, that is not something you usually play. But here it worked out beautifully. So Ping coming in with the read, rewarding themselves. The teams, or we know that already, they're going to split the points, but the question now is who is going to be taking home the bonus one, and I think at the start of this match, no one really saw this coming. And even after the first 2 rounds being played, everyone was like, all right, it's going to be one of those days for Cashback. They're stealing the rounds away. Well, then ends happened.
Yeah, showing the predictions, real. Some of us had no fade, some of us had a little fade, but even that was misplaced.
Yeah, I think every one of us still under the impression of last season's Cashback, and this season we're seeing kind of a new face from them, but it ain't looking pretty.
Could it also just be that they don't really expect Ping to play the way they do, you know? Like, lack of respect, Kihan, is a real thing. Could be a real thing.
I think after today, like, whatever happens, Ping are going to be having the problem that a lot of teams are going to be respecting them for this match against Cashback now.
Then again, though, Kihan, you know, Darkseid once went to a tiebreaker with Cashback as well. I remember it vividly. We said that they probably should win as well. They didn't, and then they ended 6th, you know.
Still, it's great to see that the supposed lightweights in the league can actually land punches against Cashback. And the likes of those who are going to be bringing double MVY, a T277, double T57, Centurion Action X, and an EBR.
Versus Ping's triple E50M, RHM, AX, and double 277.
So a little bit of a difference in approach, not only when it comes to the light tanks, there is plane versus no plane. But also, Ping are definitely looking for a shootout. With this triple E50M, that really says something. The plane of Jacek is going to hit the double MVY, a 277, and a T57, so he is going to have another one available if he wants to. His shot on towards Liberty ends up missing the EBR, though, but in the grand scheme of things, as Jacek has the plane available, doesn't really matter too much. Cashback, though, they are looking for the aggressive play in the south here, and Adi in that 277 might be feeling it because, well, he has the support of the E50Ms, but so Cashback with the MBY is now retreating a little bit. So I think the 2 strikes on the map are going to get traded. Never mind Liberty stopping to capture that one, so Ping will have one available.
But the split here, Kian, it's pretty even. Nobody's really, like, doing too much. The Mivi is getting spotted on the back. The EBR is taking the radio tower. He will get free info out of that. Spots out everybody. Now, what does Cashback do to react to this? Is this just a bait from these E50Ms? It could be. Yeah, it is. This is too obvious.
It kinda is. Right, Ping is now hoping that Cashback make the mistake of committing in the south, but you can see the triple E50M is going to be right back where it was, and I mean, a team like Cashback doesn't fall for that easy of a ruse.
No, it's a bit too obvious that you know that they could be going back, especially now with the EBR taken so far in the north.
Miku, though, committing in now in his E50M. Importantly, also, Liberty has taken a shot of damage in that EBR, and obviously those start off with not a lot of HP, those light tanks, so that is very, very important. Rainbreaker trying to get the information with a 277, possibly hoping to bait out a shot from Adi as well, and, well, he baits the shot successfully, but he takes damage for it too.
AX now starting to join the K-line, though. I think they might be thinking about pushing it, and now Yasik giving Liberty a shot, not giving him a second. Yeah, Liberty getting outplayed a little bit there by that RHM Panzerwagen. Trying to retaliate, will not immediately find anything. But good stuff there from Yasik. And now the K-line march has begun, though, Kihan, but there's a lot of strikes available for Ping.
There is a lot of strikes available, and this is also a lot of ground to cover on this K line here, and we see a lot of firepower available for the team of Ping 2 with this triple E50M that could just commit in, and it doesn't get better as soon as the E50Ms are inspired by the Centurion that is also hovering around there. As the cap has now reached 40 seconds, we do see the E50Ms getting pulled in towards the fray. There is not really a lot of tanks available for cashback in the middle that could be shooting at those E50Ms. Are they going to commit in is the question. Adi taking the first volley as he should in the heavy tank. Now the E50Ms. X marks the spot. The funny button has been popped and Brainbreaker melts like ice in the sunshine.
Yeah, but now the 57s arrive and they have something to say about this as well as they blow one of the 50Ms, but Little in return also down already, and Cashback here look to be in trouble. Alarm signs going off as Miku runs down. Twilight and Domivi, and now Barbarian, Aka, and Squeezy, they're still on reload, and Aka is the next one. Pink find more success, and Pink find 4 kills where Cashback found 1 so far. Baton beats the ground with his face as he gets picked up by Cashback, and Barbarian wants 1 more, but that's going to be all she wrote for the team captain there as well. He's going to fall, and the rest of the Cashback lineup is also going to fall, and the underdog of Ping in match day number 3 will take down the giants of Cashback, who are left wondering what on earth just happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Ping taking home 2 points in this match here. Unexpectedly, but I would say not undeservedly so. Arguably, they would deserve all 3 points in this one. Cashback only making it into tiebreaker because a monstrous combined performance of triple T57 on Himmelsdorf. But after the complete best of 5 has been played in between Cashback and Ping, the victor is Ping.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
And it's not like they even stole it.
No, they were just plain the better team, period. I mean, we do see the damage numbers coming in here now, and like, yeah, Like and Berton, not really the best of games for them, but to be honest, like, if you do a tactic like this, where 277s and E50Ms commit in, someone's gonna have to bite the bullet. The important thing is only that the remaining tanks then hit their shots, which absolutely was the case. The focus fire was really on point for the team of Ping, and I think Ping were just able to do one very important thing that allowed it for Cashback not to get back into it, and that was the MVYs as well as the T57. All of those tanks were not allowed to have an impact until it was too late.
And those 57s, yeah, I mean, they do their clip key hand, but by then they already lost so much. Like, I'm not the greatest fan of them, personally.
Yeah, on Sand River, no. I think the map is like too large for it. You just get out-rotated by mediums. In this case, the mediums didn't even rotate, and the T57 still got outplayed. So, yeah, make of that what you will. But that was 3 matches now, 3 best of 5s, and we have seen 15 rounds up and coming. We have 1 more best of 5, and if the names of the 2 teams waiting are anything to go by, then we might be in for the maximum today, Daki. When we're back, it's gonna be Hit versus Mafia, so stay tuned. Well, hello there and welcome back. It's been quite the day already, but of course we are not going to be slowing down. We saved what we thought was the best for last. It's going to be Hit versus Mafia, but to be honest, like this match is going to have to deliver if it wants to live up to what we've seen already.
For sure. This was the one where I predicted a tiebreaker, you know? You know.
Well.
So, it's like, yeah.
I mean, historically, both of those teams have been extremely close, with Hit more often than not getting the edge over Mafia in tiebreakers. But today is a new day, and today is, well, the day of the tiebreakers so far, but I mean, probabilities aside, will we see another one? Possibly. The team lineup of Hit and Run, not a lot has changed since Season 2, albeit Mentos is gone now. But so far, it seems to not have hurt them too much. Hit and Run even getting the victory in tiebreaker of all things against Cashback earlier. And Mafia also looking very relaxed at this point in time, though.
For real. I mean, I don't think Mafia has too much to worry about either. 70-30 for Hit and Run. Okay. It's a bit much, I find. This is a true test for both these teams, right? To see how they stack up against one another. And they've had a few close run-ins in the past already.
Yeah, indeed. They have quite the history. I mean, both of those teams, some of the players coming together for 15v15 events, so they know how the other thinks. Who is going to get into the head of the other team today is going to be the question, as we saw some stats there. But realistically, these few play days in, it's too early to really say something about the top performers. And talking about the teams as well, I mean, we had upsets today. Maybe here an upset for me in this match would be either team taking it 3-0. I think both teams are fairly capable of doing that and running away with it, especially with this kind of set of maps. Westfield, very quick. Pilsen, more of a controlled gameplay, but if Westfield goes either way 2-0, then it just needs one knockout punch. And tiebreaker would be Studzianki at the end of the day.
If we get that far.
Indeed. That is far from guaranteed. And well, in between both of those teams, I think they are very evenly matched in terms of like player skill. Maybe the slight advantage, if you want to say it like that, going over towards Hit and Run. But Mafia is certainly very capable of hitting back. Pun not intended. And we do see the predictions kind of split. Not unexpectedly so. Phil and I going with a 3-1. Moff and you saying tiebreaker, albeit you are going with Mafia and Moff is going with Hit.
Yeah, I mean, so far, Kihan, it's like, it's all good, you know, like I'm chilling. Moff has like 5 correct predictions. I've got like 8 at this point. So, you know, I can guess wrong 4 times at this point and still be ahead.
I think we all are in shambles after what just happened in between Ping and Cashback, so that was unexpected, to say the very least. But yeah, community prediction 70-30, that is the closest that it's been today. But I think, if anything, the past 3 matches go to show that sometimes only what happens in the game matters. Mafia are looking for the first point in this best of 5, and they're doing so with a very versatile lineup. A BZ, a CS, an E50M, a K91 being played together with Bliska, EBR, and RHM, so double light.
No double light for Hit and Run, only Monster, Cat's Eye, and then 5 BZs, Kihan. 5.
Yeah, that is a lot of in your face, a lot of HP, a lot of alpha that Hit and Run is playing, whereas Mafia are trying to play a bit more versatile. They will probably try and take the outside. Let's see how good the planes are by either team. 3 tanks spotted for Mafia. Only Monster gets spotted, but that is an important spot coming out, because this means that YOLO can freely take the information tower, and even Kono spotting there with that EBR. The Arti strike is going to get taken, and Hit and Run immediately are going to put cap pressure against Mafia that are looking to pick up that strike. As Panzfury books it towards the secondary strike, they want to allow for one reset, but not more. But Ketsai might be in trouble.
Maybe if he gets pushed straight, that is. Marcel looks to want to go for it. YOLO finds him from a different angle as well. Ketsai loading HE, doesn't get the shot. Marcel's gonna dump from the top. There comes the strike as well on towards DJ, but not
only one.
Yeah, not more than that so far. Conrad coming in as well to finish off that AX, who's now running away fully. YOLO and Kono already flanking through the lower side, and Marcel just chasing down the CX will always win the fight, Kian, because of that DPM advantage, but they're going to have to sacrifice one of their BZs in to actually deal with this. It's Barkis. Young talent in, young talent out.
Indeed, as the E50M does get the ram kill, only 2 damage taken for over 100 dealt, and now Hit and Run realize we need to make something happen. Yuzek is going to be the point of focus, but Hit and Run at this point in time very far up in the HP department. The strike only connecting on towards Panzfury. Yuzek, the ability has run out. No more damage reduction on that Blyskowitz that gets put on towards a one-shot. Call me Piotr, probably the one to pick it up, and Hit and Run with this firepower that they have brought to the table get 2 kills very, very early in the game.
Panzerfury and Monster are chasing down this K91 of... Oh, it's actually T-Sec and Monster chasing it down. Good strike from Orchek already. Tries to track, does get 250. He needs Kono to come in to help him against the Monster. He's trying to find the angle. He does find the shot as well. He will be taking some damage here from that BZ. Finds another good shot. If Kono could find a shell as well. Conrad with the CS. Monster there with the light. Huge misplay, Kihan, to be honest. Getting caught out against the lineup of Mafia. And now T-Sec is in trouble.
Indeed, T-Sec in huge trouble, as Orzek is also with the level 1 strike gonna put another 150 damage, and we can really see that K91 DPM, but T-Sec is gonna mount Orzek. He is down towards less than a one-shot now. T-Sec is just going to stick it on top of Orzek and completely takes him out. He takes damage from behind, though, in that BZ75 is not out of the woods yet, as Hit and Run all of a sudden playing from an HP disadvantage, and T-Sec gets picked up as well. Panzfury is another very, very low tank on the team in white.
Can I make this observation, Kihan, that when you look at the lineup on the left and the lineup on the right, I haven't seen a worse one to play against the lineup on the left. All right.
Absolutely. Hit and Run is all but done.
You're playing with 4 BZs, man, of which 2 are low HP. Yeah? It's not like the HP is split evenly and like nicely. No. Take it back.
That is, yeah, the shooting gallery deluxe.
It's like you have 2 full HP BZs and 2 basically dead BZs against a CS you cannot catch, light tanks you cannot spot, and an E50M that is never going to get close to you.
Well, things are going from bad to worse for the team of Hit here, as Call Me Piotr is now going to pick up the strike. But this also means that the low HP BZ is actually the one that is close towards the enemies. Mafia are selecting to not put the strike on towards Piotr here, who might be even taking another shot of damage. Good shot coming out from Marcel as Piotr going to respond. Kono staying unspotted with that EBR. He's going to get the kill. And man, at that point, you must be feeling so frustrated if you're Hit and Run. I mean, the plane is now also going to come in. The strike is going to provide the first reset. And that means that Mafia are going to have smooth sailing for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, it looked close there, and it was close as well, Kihan, but this Orchek Monster play was not it.
Yeah, I mean,
sure, Orchek got the best out of it by, you know, literally mounting his opponent. I talk about a show of force, but anyway. But losing the light in this kind of battle, when you, it's too much. Like, you need that light, otherwise you have nothing.
Yeah, exactly, and we can see a slow, and if you're a Hit player, probably very agonizing death of the BZs, as Mafia are taking all the time in the world, but to be honest, they can afford to do that. Kono is going to style a little bit on towards DJ. Did he intuition to HE? No gun depression, but it doesn't matter. All the tanks by Mafia have now come. Death by 1,000 cuts for DJ, as Mafia are going to lock in round number 1.
Yeah, it didn't look for a while that great for them. but mainly picking off Ketsai, right? It's like trading it out for Barkis, 1-for-1. And then, yeah, they push towards Yuzek, but the HP management from hit and run was not good. Piotr taking shots, he took the final shot from Yuzek, for example. It's just one of the examples. It's the easiest one that comes to mind. He goes down to like 900 HP for it, right? Or like 800, whatever. It doesn't matter. While he has 2 full HP BZs right next to him that are able to also take the shot instead. But then, I mean, the light between Monster and was it Tisek?
What do you mean?
Who mounted the K91?
I think that was Tisek, yeah.
Yeah, so Tisek does 3.6, but Monster does 1 shot of damage. In return, you have Barkis doing 0, but Barkis' role is not as important as the light tank. He was literally like, okay, Barkis, yeah, you're gonna have to block the cap.
And he's gonna be like, yes, daddy.
The word sequence goes like K, J, P, and then he goes anyways.
But yeah, the fact remains that Mafia did a very good job of removing options from the team of Hit, because who were the tanks that died very early on? That was the Centurion Action X and the RHM. And after that, you're left with, well, BZs that are sometimes great, sometimes terrible, but 5 of them on Westfield against a team with double light and stuff like that is just not going to work. Also, shout out to Orzhek for great target selection in the K91 when he was in the face hug 1v1 against the BZ. He had enough situational awareness to switch targets over on towards the RHM that then immediately died after. So yeah, great job. And I mean, the K91 DPM is just crazy. He died so early on and still he had 4.8k. That is astounding.
Good stuff from Mafia, but definitely a conflict of styles there, though. Hit and run going very, all right, we fight, and in return you have this Mafia lineup, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, Mafia were like, all right, you want to fight? We're going to be playing our own game. And that is just what they did. That was a very convincing but pretty close round, although it didn't look like it at the end, of course. But there were some very, very crucial moments, and all of those went in favor of Mafia. That's why, in the end, they still had 4 tanks alive. And, well, those BZs, I think as soon as the engagement had settled and there were 4 BZs left against 4 non-BZs, I think the Hit guys, they kind of knew.
Sure. Will they adjust, though? That's the second question. Like, do you
I mean, if you fall apart like this, I think you should adjust. But it is up to them, not up to us. And I think we're just about ready to see what's going to happen in this second round on Westfield. Mafia currently up a point, trying to widen that gap with a double BZ, 1 Centurion, double Briska, Foch, and an EBR.
Hit and run, light tank, this time played by Ketsai, STRV, Leo, WE50, AX, and an IS-7.
I mean, both teams kind of looking for the brawl here, albeit Hit are wanting to keep back a little bit with an STRV and the Leopard. That is very passive. You can't really force the issue with tanks like this. You have to hope for the opposing team to drive into you. And also Ketsai opting for the T100 over the RHM. Kind of curious choice. Let's see how many tanks are going to get spotted by the plane. It is going to be 3, so not enough for the replane on Ketsai here. That is pretty important. Always Kono going extremely aggressive, but that is to be expected. He does spot out Ketsai. He takes one by Pan's Fury, a second one by a secondary medium. Kono immediately has to drive out as Ketsai, looking for another shot, doesn't get it, is going to go for the arty strike. But now Mafia has seen just about enough. In come the Bliskas, and Call Me Piotr in that IS-7 is going to be the one to take the first volley.
Yeah, but this is good for Monster, though. In that SCRV, he's going to start popping off from the back lines, and they have no real counter to him right now, and he's just putting in 500 after 500 after 500 with a strike coming on top as well. And I think now Mafia realize that the SCRV is ruining their life. They are trying to take the information tower there with Orchek. It would be a huge pickup if they could actually get it, because they need to somehow figure out where this STRV is. And in the meantime, though, Kono is going very aggressive if he could find a position, but Tisek left too close there in the E50M, not backing off enough. A rare mistake from that gentleman in the E50M. Takes another one from Yuzek. Now Conrad coming in, getting shot by the STRV, missing the shot though, but Marcel will get it in return. And now Kono in a lot of trouble here in the EBR, trying to make it away, trying to stay safe as well. They're coming in with shots from the back lines. The T100 gets tracked though. Kono with a shot. The plane's still on him. Ketsa can spot it out. They do find the EBR. Very important.
Indeed, so the EBR is not going to be able to provide crossfire anymore. In the meanwhile, Hit and Run on the full retreat with all of their tanks. They're able to retaliate. Conrad drops in that Bliska, but YOLO, very, very healthy himself, is going to boost in. 2 shots is what is going to be needed against Franek, but Pansfury is going to get shot down, and the strike is going to confirm the kill on towards the Inspire medium. All of a sudden, Hit and Run having to fight with only 3 tanks, make that 2 as DJ in the Leopard 1 falls, and now Monster in the STRV getting pushed on as well. Ketsai simply doesn't have the firepower in his T100 to contend against all of those Mafia tanks that are still up and kicking, and now Monster is going to get rammed, doesn't get the shot. Ketsai against the world.
Really good stuff from Mafia. I mean, they find Piotr, they do assess the situation correctly. They stop. They're like, they have an SRV. They have an SRV. They then start moving through the buildings, yeah, and then they find hit and run players too close for their own good. Like Tisek.
Yeah, and also Kono with a very, very good flanking play. Yes, he did end up falling, but he provided so much information, all of the spots on towards the tanks of Hit and Run that were trying to cling to the side of that big hill. And now Orzek is going to drive towards the cap with the Sente X. The Siren is going to start. He is a 2-shot for the T100. He is going to plant himself, tuck himself nicely into the bushes. And, well, the rest of the tanks of Mafia, all of them not really in any kind of danger of getting 2-shot here. I mean, even Bark is in that Force B. Worst case, I mean, you know, he dies, but he gets off a lot of damage against Ketsai.
I mean,
and realistically, I mean, 1v5, you don't win those.
It was over already, Kian. You know, they were bleeding. Tons of HP.
Yeah, they were peaking so... lots of HP. For nothing.
Many players like Siege Master.
Exactly. But yeah, Mafia are going to confirm what we already know. It is going to be the 2-0 on Westfield here.
Maybe the last match is the one,
show.
Keyhand, where we predicted tiebreaker, but it's not a tiebreaker. Huh?
Yeah, maybe it is one of those days where all of the matches just don't go the way that you expect them to do, which is kind of cool as well.
I predicted Mafia to win. All right.
Okay,
There's definitely something like wrong, but less wrong, you know? Like, at least I give ping a round, which none of you assholes did at all. Like, you guys
Wow.
went with 3 zeros. 4 3 zeros, actually, because it didn't even show, but External also voted 3-0. It's like, wow.
Well, all the shooting by the STRV, it didn't matter in the end. Monster with 5.4k, almost perfect shooting as well on his part, but his team just evaporated too quickly in front of him. And those Bliskas paired up with some Foch Bs can absolutely wreak havoc with the opposing tanks, which is exactly what ended up happening. And also pretty good damage spread as well on the team of Mafia. I mean, yeah, the EBR is never expected to do a lot, but he got a lot of information very early on, and he got the crucial information that then enabled the quick move on towards the IS-7, from where on it all spiraled out of control quickly for Hit.
Sure. And you could see the real issues there, right? For hit and run, right? You have Piotr being up front, he dies with 1 shot. But then, like, Tisek, I think, could have gotten further back, Johan. Didn't need to be so close anymore.
Yeah, I think he was trying to, like, snatch the strike away from Mafia, but that was definitely not the play. It was much too greedy, and then he even got found out. I think he got spotted from the EBR, even from the other side, that had managed to get behind enemy lines, and then you know, he takes a truck ton, he tries to drop down, he dies, and from there on out, it's just the team of Mafia pushing with everything that they have. And here as well, for Hit, it becomes the issue that they have an STRV, they have a Leopard 1, and both of those tanks are not really able to contribute. Like, as soon as the IS-7 dies and an E50M dies, what are Hit left with? They have a Centurion, that one's squishy. They have a secondary E50M, that one also can't really, like, brawl too well against many enemy tanks. So yeah, good decision-making by Mafia, and that brings us to at least 2 match points on Pilsen.
And Mafia's not a bad Pilsen team, Kihan. They only need 1 round.
Yep, it's their map pick. I mean, we just saw Hit, well, classic, Hit getting schooled on their own map pick. But if there is any team that could come back then on the opponent's map pick, it certainly is Hit. I wouldn't count them out yet.
No, for sure not. Do we think it's 3-0? I find that, I don't know, man. But so far, it's just...
It kind of feels like it right now,
like
right?
It's
but then again, think back to match 3. Cashback was up 2-0. It also felt like a 3-0, no?
Yeah, sure.
But you said it. Mafia is definitely a very good Pilsen team. And so this is where we are going to get the possible decision on this match. The pressure kind of on for Hit. They had a very good showing during day 1, especially against the team of Cashback, where we now have to question, was it Hit playing so well or was it Cashback playing badly? Mafia looking to put the final nail in the coffin with double mouse, double T57, a Batchat, a Foch, and an EBR.
Hit and run, an EBR of their own, and it's Call Me Piotr playing it. A Monster in the Gorilla, 430U, E50, IS-4, E100, and a 50B. 7 different tanks.
That looks like a cooking strat from Hit and Run. I think, have we seen a Gorilla on Pilsen?
I mean, we probably have, but not very often.
Yeah, it is definitely not something you would, like, expect. The IS-4, also kind of curious choice, but for certain situations, I can definitely see it. But yeah, that Gorilla, we are going to have to watch out where Monster is going to position himself. Kono is going to book it through the factory. Call Me Piotr, a little bit more of a passive approach, but both of those EBRs are going to spot each other out. Conrad taking a big one to the face.
But only 750 though, because I think Kono spotted the Gorilla, right?
Yeah, I think the Gorilla was spotted, so obviously the ability didn't trigger, but he did do the shot of damage, which means the ability is ready to get used once again. Ketsai has made it in towards the strike in his IS-4, now looking towards the cap as well. He sees, or rather someone else sees the double T57, trying to go there, as Piotr is providing a spotting screen for his team on the 0 line. Good shot by Ketsai, but he's about to get pushed by double T57 that are going to be very furious. And Ketsai, my man, that is too many shells of heat that you're trying to tank right now. He is starting to heal up. Another shot in towards the back. One of the T57s falls, but Marcel in the mouse to shut down the IS-4. 1-1. Kills get traded.
That was the first big shot there from the Gorilla, Kihan, if you saw on that T57 heavy. Landing for about 1000 HP, and Conrad now falling as well against T-Sec. 2 kills for Hit and Run, showing that they're not out of this just yet. Kono is behind enemy lines.
Oh, Franek?
Yeah, Franek did stick a lot. HP pen even from one of those players from the Mafia side. I think the other mouse coming out with that. Now Marcel backing off, still getting shot on the side by T-Sec though. Orchek trying to leave from that position, and Kono and Piotr is a fight we have to watch out for, because if Kono wins that, he's behind enemy lines.
Indeed. Call Me Piotr, also very low in HP, down towards 673. That's a 2-shot for the EBR as well, as T-Sec takes a lot of damage in that 430U. Needs to be kind of careful himself as well. Kono trying to test out the waters. Are they cold or are they actually ready to go in hot? The HE shell does connect on towards Franek, but no penetration. Still 600 HP remaining on Franek, and now Call Me Piotr kind of knows where Kono is, so he's going to drive in. T-Sec gets spotted as well, and this means Kono now needs to evacuate as he does.
Really good movement there from Kono, though. Got to give it to him. He does get spotted out there in his EBR. He tries to make a shot. He gets it as well. 380 on towards Tsek. Kono with the read of what could be potentially happening. And Mafia starting to claw themselves back in this match slowly but surely, step by step.
HP basically dead even, but Hit and Run still with the gun advantage. However, a lot of this, 2.5k, is on the Grilla of Monster. That is obviously not there for taking damage. That is only thriving when it's unspotted, when it's far away from the enemy. And this is what Mafia will try to do. They will force the issue. They want to have those Hit and Run tanks drive closer to them. As we see a relocation by both Pan's Fury and Monster in the E50M and the Gorilla respectively, driving through the K-line, trying to avoid losing this match in a clean sweep. Good shot coming out from Kono on towards Franek, and the strike is going to remove the 50B from the game. It's going to be even in the kill department. Call me Piotr, forced and relegated to watch from the bushes.
Kono is winning this game for them. I mean, the question is, does Kono realize that he's spotted? He looks right at him, like kind of right at him. He knows. He finds Piotr as well. They pick him up, and Kono with the reads, man. It's like a open book is what Hit and Run is for Kono right now.
Absolutely. Hit and Run now losing a crucial asset with that EBR. They are going to be forced to make a move, or Kono is just going to be their undoing. This is why Pan's Fury is now starting to move in. A shot does connect it towards Yuzek. He has support as well, so the mouse is not going to be long for this world if Yuzek doesn't manage to get safe as he does on a one-shot. Doesn't really have the healing ability right now, and yeah, it's going to be Monster to shut it down. Ooh, Kono there. He was trying to read the book once again, but Tsek is just going to slam it shut right in front of his eyes. But look who it is. Barkis, not with a steel chair, but a fully loaded Foch B. And Tsek, with good situational awareness, is currently evacuating.
Kono needs to be careful though. Tsek could sniff him out. Marcel falling against DJ. It's not over just yet. Tsek misses Kono. Kono there with a mistake. Double mistake actually in a row. Barkis will find it, but the Panzer Fury with the strike! With the strike actually finds Kono. What a beautiful strike from Fury in that E50M.
Yeah, he does come in extremely clutch when his team needs him. And now DJ against Orzek. The two of them kind of dancing around. But oh, now Orzek possibly with the timing on towards Fury. But no, he is ready. The quick flick of the wrist with the E50M is going to put a shot of damage in towards Orzek, who now is a possible two-shot, definitely three-shot for that E100. Man, the timings are just crazy good, but now he is going to start clipping out in towards that Gorilla, but I don't think Monster really minds to take the damage at this point in time here, as they are just all here against this T-57 heavy tank. Bark is now coming in with the Foch B, does get tracked, is there immediately with the repair, but now it's 3 versus 1. Hit and Run are battered, are bruised, but they are not beaten.
No, they come back in this one. Even with that Gorilla, Kono almost ruined their team, to be honest. But we'll say that double mistake there from Kono, as much as he played extremely well in the beginning. Like, taking the shot from Tsek and then getting striked or getting spotted out even, mistake from Kono. But he played amazingly beforehand, though. All he has to do really is wait for his Foch B to pull up and kind of cut off the retreat from the 430U, and he doesn't need to be that close to do it. And then they have a real chance though. Foch B and EBR versus 3 tanks. Let's say Orzek does 3 shots or whatever. They have a real opportunity.
Yeah, indeed. And I think, to be honest, it was all down to Kono. This is why they were able to stay in this game for this long, because realistically, Hit had the better opening, and then, you know, Kono got them back in towards having a chance. But yeah, I guess, you know, German tanks OP at this point in time. E50M, Gorilla, and E100 all at the top here, all around 5 to 6k damage. Good job, the Gorilla there as well, 877. Pretty good shooting coming out. The IS-4, I'm not entirely sure how or what exactly the thought process was behind that one. And yeah, let's be real. Piotr got a little bit outplayed by Kono throughout the game, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter.
No, and lucky it didn't matter for them. You see Konrad and YOLO there. YOLO is the one that actually got hit by this gorilla, who actually had a big game impact nonetheless.
Yeah. And the thing is, with all those semi-destroyed walls of the factory in the middle of the map, I think there is a lot of angles that probably a lot of people don't really take into account or are maybe not entirely aware of. And that is exactly where then the gorilla absolutely shines. He's going to be unspotted for most of those shots. And I mean, yeah, if you're getting hit for 1k, that hurts.
That's the 50-57 that. Because the one in the middle that was going for Ketsai did get hit by said gorilla. Battle number 2 though, not a 3-0 key hand.
Not a 3-0, no. Perhaps a 3-1. But the way this day has been going, questionable. Then again, I mean, it did smell like a 3-0. It wasn't to be. Does it smell like a 3-1 for you now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's either a 3-1 or it's you that I'm smelling.
That's normally not a good sign.
Huh?
Huh?
Weird.
But yeah, Hit managing to stay alive here in this last match of the third playday of the AMD OLS Season 3. Let's see if we are going to go the full distance. And we're really getting our money's worth today, right? With you.
Yeah, real, dude. Real. We're gonna have to put a clause in the contract next time. Like the expected rounds, and what if we go above it, you know?
All right, Mafia looking for the knockout punch once again. They want to eagle-eyes what just happened, and they might as well just do it. That is a very straightforward setup. A CS63, triple E100, triple 50B.
Hit and run, no light tank either. Very important here to note that. CS63, AX, BAT, double T57, IS4, and E100. It's very important because they will not know either what Mafia is doing.
Yeah, both teams skipping the light tank altogether. The Inspire medium for Hit and Run, but what makes me a little bit concerned here for Hit is that apart from that E100, they don't really have any like steel to hold into the faces of Mafia. Like, yeah, the IS-4, arguably so, but you just saw what happens to an IS-4 when autoloaders get up into its face, and the 50B, I mean, the APCR is just great at point-blank distance. You're going to be doing 4 out of 4, as the triple 50B is going to be driving in towards the cap. Kono already looking with that CS to pick up the strike, removing another option from Hit and Run, because Call Me Piotr on the field is going to be taking the strike as well.
But he can... time, though.
Yeah, he takes it on time. I think if he strikes right now, I don't think he did strike. So actually, there is going to be the strike available as of right now. Oh, reset coming in towards Konrad, and T-Sec and Pansfury waiting with open arms for this 50B migration that is going in towards the west. The strike does go down now. It's going to connect on towards 3 tanks, and now DJ does get found, but the 50B is already very, very low. And that E100 is exactly the tank that you want the opposing 50Bs to push up on. He is going to get maybe one more shot. The E100 of Marcel has arrived, and now DJ is looking for the shot in towards YOLO, and I think he got it.
I think he even bounced altogether, but in return, Orchek is going to be falling here himself in that E100. He's going to get picked up by Franek in the batch of 25T, and now Mafia in Hit and Run 6v6 with YOLO very low. Konrad not doing much better. The strike from Piotr on the backlines coming in, picks off that 50B, and now Mafia left wondering, how do we get back in this? They're down a gun, they are not able to cap because Ketsai is body blocking that the whole time. So what do they do?
What did they do indeed is the question. Ketsai here trading 2 for 1 against Yuzek in that E100. 340 heat pen should normally be enough for even the buff turret front of the E100, as Piotr was able to take another strike on the field here. Marcel taking 1, taking 2, taking 3, even as Monster and Fury double team on towards him. Pansfury is going to get yet another reload off. T-Sec though caught in the long reload here against Kono, who is taking shots from God knows where in the bat chat, as finally he has gets reloaded. Make that 1, make that 2, and 3. The 4th one he pulls back. Kono does get the pickup though, but gets killed in return. 4 tanks remaining for Mafia, 4.5k HP, and I think, Daki, today, out of a possible 20 rounds, we are going to get every single one.
Yeah, you'll be hearing from my lawyers later, buddy. There's definitely some rules being broken right now. But yeah, it's smelling like a tiebreaker, Kian. Unbelievable. I said it when it happened. You know, like, I should just stick to my predictions.
I mean, Yuzek getting killed now here by Ketsai. This game is over. This is hit and runs, a victory march towards the tiebreaker that they will still have to win.
All right, what map's the tiebreaker?
Studzianki, I think.
All right. Okay, I'm ready for it, Kian. Let's get it.
I mean, we've been here for 19. Let's do 20, right?
Start the battle. A quick start, Kian.
Professional content extension anyways, and to be honest, as bad as Hit and Run looked on Westfield, as good they looked here on Pilsen round number 2. Round number 1, there was a realistic scenario where they kind of lose it, but here in this second round, I think the call to transition over with the 50Bs was not the correct one. They lost so much damage, they lost so much HP on that transition, and then, you know, what were they pushing onto? The E100. Okay, yeah, great. Not really.
I am not sure what they were hoping for. Maybe they were hoping for Hit and Run to be more field-orientated, so they would need to send somebody close, but the E100 was already pretty close, so it could peek from inside of the factory, right? Might have ruined their plans altogether, but you know, neither team was aware what was happening in the beginning, because no light tanks. So we can only guess what Mafia was hoping for, but probably more field-orientated, no heavy tanks super close, forcing somebody close or forcing somebody through the cap, you know?
Yeah, the fact as well that the CS63 of Mafia, I think that was Kono, wasn't able to reset the strike on the cap, meant that the 50Bs had to make a move off of it. But at that point in time, they were driving into prepared guns, into T-57s that immediately got off another reload, so not great by Mafia. And as good as it looked for them after Westfield, now I think the momentum is definitely on Hit's side. Mafia, though, had the side pick for Studzianki. They chose left, so west.
Okay. So Mafia picked west, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I don't think there's a real advantageous side. It's just about comfort, to be honest. Or where you have the cooking strat that you have more confidence in, that is going to bring you across the finish line and absolutely dominate Hit and Run. To send Moff home crying. I really hope this is the season where Moff just gets absolutely dunked on his predictions. I don't know why.
So vicious.
No, it's just I know he cares, you know. It's it's like
that makes it not less vicious, you know.
No, it makes it funny, you know. Because
for you,
because then I get to hear him go like, unbelievable, man. They had it, you know, like Cashback, for example. You know, like they had it and then they threw it and
Yeah, no, I think Moff probably Googling right now, how do I get the copium pipeline installed to my apartment?
Dude, he can just ask Fabi to bring some. I mean, he's going to Tankfest in like 2 months, so...
True. Maybe Fabi can hook him up.
Maybe
we
just like hook on a trailer and just load it with some from Fabi's spare storage, because...
I don't think there is any spare storage for Fabi.
Yeah, but he gets it directly from the factory, though.
Directly from the shipment. But yeah, Hit against Mafia 2-2, the match that we expected to go to tiebreaker.
Went to tiebreaker. Unbelievable.
Tiebreaker. Wow. Who would have thought?
Crazy. Who would have thought such a thing?
After all of this is done, who do you think has the edge right now? Like, obviously, Hit are going to be on the momentum train, but like in between the games that played out, who do you think looked better?
Mafia. But then Hit looked really good in Pilsen, though. It's like hard to say that way. But still, Mafia, because the first Pilsen round was winnable either way, IMO. So if you take that into account, Mafia.
Where I'm a little bit worried for Hit here right now is that Mafia essentially outplayed them in the light tank department a lot. And Studzianki is one of those maps that light tanks get played more often than not. So maybe Mafia have the advantage here. But at least in this match, the light tank players on Hit have not been thoroughly convincing, I think is fair to say. So let's see what this is going to bring. Obviously, Studzianki is one of those maps as well where, you know, you can play double light, but you can also play zero lights. Maybe Hit and Run are going to opt for that one.
I don't know. The Gorilla could make its way back, Jan, to be honest.
Also, that factory right now, if the AMD sign wasn't there, that would look like a face, I think. Can you see it? Well, now it's not there anymore.
Kihan, you know, if you look at the minimap, you can see something else as well.
What's that?
Tell me when you figure it out.
Oh, no.
Just pay good attention.
Oh, no. All right. The last game of the day, the last game of the match in between Mafia and Hit. The Polish Derby is going all the way, is going the distance. And Mafia are looking for the tiebreaker victory with a mouse, a T57 double 430U, an E3, an EBR, and RHM.
Hit and Run, on the other hand, W100, double 277, double T57, and a bad shot. So no light tanks for them. So it will be not the easiest job in the world here for Mafia.
No, Hit and Run are looking for a very aggressive play, I guess, around the cap. As YOLO is... Ooh, this might be bad for Mafia. YOLO is keeping the plane right now, so they don't know that Hit don't have any light tanks whatsoever. Franek now with the bat shot is going to go on towards the spotting tower. He does stick it, but he gets reset. And this means that the light tank of YOLO will have a plane available again, but so far not a lot of information available. Finally, the tanks of Hit and Run do get spotted. And now for Mafia, it must be full-on panic mode because they see 7 combat tanks.
Yeah, they know everything that's happening, to be honest. I mean, YOLO will sneak onto the strike, though. And the biggest issue here, though, is Kono is actually infiltrated behind enemy lines. And once they use the spotting, he will know that there's no danger of him getting spotted. And he can really do whatever his heart desires.
Yeah, even Franek now with the bat shot spotted on the rotation takes a shot of damage by the RHM, I believe. And now Call Me Piotr here looking for the enemy Kono with a good timing. Ooh, does even get a shot and is going to make it out here as Hit are going to go on towards the cap because they need to force the issue. But DJ and T-Sec already taking shots. YOLO is going to be double bushing the entire time. He also has a strike available. This is not starting well for the team of Hit.
No, really. The Z100 is getting punished and Monster getting punished as well. Marcel Jusek two-tapping that T57 heavy there. The bad shot of Franek now starting to come back towards B0. Piotr starting to join, but so is Kono. I think he's been keeping track of this 277 as well. Ketsa and Monster now relocating. They want Barkis, and they might even get him if they hit the timing here. But no, Jusek holding the line in that E3, holding the angle as well, and that is not worth to shoot out with a T57 heavy. Monster's now crossing over, but that doesn't put him in the greatest position either. Barkis has already evacuated the AO altogether. He's out, and that T57 there of Orchak, you'd think he's isolated, you'd think he's in trouble, but no, there is a building protecting him for most of the way back, most of the retreat, and Hit and Run trying to catch something here, but so far they're catching nothing but bullets from the Mafia side.
Absolutely everything that Hit does, Mafia seem to be thoroughly expecting, and now finally some damage starting to get traded back, but it's not going to make up for the entirety of the damage that Hit have taken so far, dropping below 13,000 as Mafia is still very, very healthy as at 18.6. Orchak is now even going to commit on towards Pan's Fury because he knows he has a brother, and that brother is Kono. He's also putting in those shots. Orchak with more than enough shells remaining in the clip. They are going to eliminate the 277. DJ in the E100 falls as well, and so will the hopes of Hit and Run of winning this match here. It's all crumbling. Yes, they made it back on Pilsen, but here on Studzianki, Mafia are going to secure a second point.
Yeah, why couldn't they just have done that after the third round? You know what I mean? Like, after the second round. Why did you need to extend the content, huh? Good job to Mafia, though. Clean, very clean game, this one. Good reactions, good rotations, drawing out players, EBR working in their favor. Kono getting info, being a little bit annoying. They know that there's a batch at 277 in the south. They take all the tanks north. They put a little bit of pressure. They back off at the right time. Not really any flaws in the gameplay there. And the result says it's as well, like clean 7-0, a lot of HP remaining. It was a disaster if you're a hit and run fan to watch that.
Absolutely. This battle here was a train wreck for hit and run from start to finish. They got outplayed hard in the information department. They got outpositioned. That E3 just providing all the information on the rotations as well, and then, you know, taking a toll. It's like a tax. Every time you cross 750, ka-ching, down it goes. So yeah, overall, a great last game by Mafia here. And I think for Hit, if you're Hit, you really want to look into the light tank department, because I think this is where it ended up falling apart a little bit for them. On Studzianki, they ended up not really needing it, but map number 1 and here now... on Pilsen, they ended up not needing it, but map number 1 and here Studzianki outplayed. Absolutely.
Sure. Good stuff. Good spread of damage as well. Everybody really training in there for Mafia. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well played to them. Important points also.
Yeah, indeed. I think at this phase in the season, every single point is going to be very valuable, especially considering that the teams are going to keep them for phase 2 as well. So every point you make here is going to stay with you for the entirety of the regular season. That being said, this was the last match of the, well, second stream day, but third play day already, because Sunday obviously had 2 play days included into it. The next play day is going to be the 24th on Thursday, so just 2 days, less than 48 hours from now. It's going to be starting at 18 CEST, so that's 16 or 4 p.m. UTC. And then obviously on Sunday we are going to be having a very long stream once again. It's going to be absolutely packed to the brim with action, and we are not going to stop there. The end of phase 1 is actually going to be coming only in 7 days.
And after that, there's a lot more content after phase 1 ends. We have phase 2, where the teams play against each other again, and where we also, of course, have the OLF and OCS finals later on for Europe and North America. You can see on the 17th and the 18th, after our mid-season break, we will have OCS finals on the weekend, OLF finals on the second weekend, but of course the grand finals.
Exactly, and up until that happens, you're obviously going to be able to purchase the bundles to raise the prize pool as well. Although this time we're going to cut off the sales for the prediction bundles a little bit earlier, I think after the end of phase 1, so you're definitely going to have to watch out for that one if you still want to be able to upgrade your style. That all being said and done, yeah, here you can see those bundles. You have the OLS supporter base, the advanced version, and the OLS team version. Only that one comes with a badge, and obviously, if you predict correctly, the badge also upgrades to a shiny golden version.
Yeah, and everybody loves some bling bling. It's like Pimp My Ride World of Tanks edition, right? Pimping your name, pimping your ride, if you do end up predicting right. And last season, Kihan, not too many people got it right. So if this season is something similar, you could be one of very few that have the upgraded style.
Yeah, I wasn't one of those people as well. I bought the cashback bundle last season, and then W broke my heart in the finals. So, yeah, this season I also have bought the cashback bundle already, but I think the way things have been going, I will have to probably make another purchase or two, as we do see the standings, the thing that we've all been waiting for after this day number 3. And to be honest, greeting from place number 1, unexpectedly but not undeservedly so, are a Darkside with their win streak of 3. Second place is W, third place Mafia, fourth place Hit, and then I think, comes the big shocker to everyone. Cashback, not even in the upper half.
No, but they can still grow into the season. It's weird to see them at position 5, but let's temper. We still have a lot of matches to go for first stage.
Yeah, indeed. And I mean, then Ping, Lotus, Yogurt, according to themselves, Lotus are probably going to be underperforming a little bit as of right now. But then again, I think this season, with the very positive so far surprise of Darkside, is going to be shaping up to be a very, very close one. So, you know, last season there was always like 2 teams that kind of ended up falling off. And then even, you know, in phase 2, sometimes it was clear very early on who was going to get knocked out. This time around, not so much. It seems like everyone is able to beat absolutely everyone. That all being said, prize pool currently for EU, it's obviously going to grow. Still currently 45,418 euros. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, always nice to add some money. Kihan said he's still going to add a lot himself. You know, he can afford it. We all know that. Of course, not forgetting about the CPUs from AMD, top of the board, top performers in the league as well. Together, they will advance gaming.
Got him.
Right?
Absolutely. That chip definitely is very, very good. And that is my German understatement coming in. But yeah, after all of this, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't been able to claim all of your drops yet, then we are going to rate this beautiful man on his Twitch channel right after we are done. And there you can finish your drops as well. Maybe get a few tips, because he's not the worst player himself, especially in Onslaught. And that is all from me. Thank you very much. And we are going to be seeing each other on Thursday.
This is the world's most advanced processor. In entertainment, its rendering speeds render other processors obsolete. Powers cloud services for billions. Helps change the course of climate change. And uses AI to accelerate disease detection and cures. We make the world's most advanced processors, but only with your vision can we advance the world. AMD. Together, we advance.